It's a beautiful day.
105.4 Century Soccer Saturday with Elton Wellesby. Vodafone's footy on the phone. All the action, all the news, home and away, direct to your Vodafone.
And welcome back. It's PMT time, a crescendo of pre-match tension. What's it like at Goodison, first of all? Vinnie O'Connor.
Well, Everton make 3 changes. The big news, Alan Stubbs dropping to the bench, Pistone coming in, while Watson's back for Hibbert and Radzinski's in for Ferguson. West Ham make 1 change themselves. Of course, Rigobert Song in for the suspended Thomas Repka, and a must-win game really for Everton, Sharpie.
Yeah, certainly is. A bit early in the season to talk about 6 points, but then on the back of 3 league defeats, Vinnie, this is an important one. They've got to get the win tonight.
It's Everton versus West Ham at Goodison Park.
At the Reebok, it's Bolton, Sunderland. Alan Myers.
Yes, Rod Wallace in for his first start for Bolton. Henrik Pedersen drops out as Dean Holsworth moves back into midfield. Sunderland welcome back keeper Thomas Sorensen and defender Stanislav Varga. It's second against 10th at the Reebok.
At Main Road in the First Division, Manchester City take on, well, we used to call them the Crazy Gang. Now it's just plain old Wimbledon. Stuart Arrowsmith.
There's no Paolo Wanchope for Manchester City. The Costa Rican striker's not even on the bench. We believe he has a knee injury. In his place comes Darren Huckabee to partner 12-goal top scorer Sean Gota. Richard Dunn continues at right wing back in the absence of Richard Edgehill. Injury-ravaged Wimbledon have managed to get a back 4 together with skipper Kenny Cunningham back from injury. And there's a return to Main Road for former City winger Michael Hughes. It's Manchester City versus Wimbledon. It's a sunny Main Road.
The league leaders, First Division leaders Burnley, are at West Brom. At the Hawthorns for us, Andy Bays.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere building up here at Hawthorns. Elton is 6th take on first in the First Division. Just 1 change to the Claret side from Tuesday night. Ian Cox is back, but there's no Gordon Armstrong. Glenn Little and Alan Moore are still on the treatment table too. It's West Brom against Burnley at the Hawthorns.
But live here on Century's Soccer Saturday for the next 45 minutes, we go to White Hart Lane. Spurs with Teddy Sheringham in the lineup. Manchester United changing their system this afternoon. It should be a fascinating first half, and commentating for us, Mickey T and Fraser Dainton.
Thanks very much, Elton. Impeccable timing as the 2 sides make their way out from the tunnel, which is literally right next to us, onto the White Hart Lane turf this afternoon, which incidentally is in perfect condition. Manchester United need to get themselves back on track after that disappointing defeat against Deportivo La Coruña earlier on in the week. Spurs, however, currently sitting in 11th place, need to make better of their home advantage. The spotlight this afternoon very much on one man, that being Teddy Sheringham. He scored 31 goals in 104 Premiership appearances for Manchester United, plus 15 in 49 Cup and other games during his 4 years at Old Trafford. And he's being watched this afternoon not only by myself and Mickey T, but also by a certain Mr. Sven-Göran Eriksson. The England coach is here this afternoon, with Michael Owen out of the crucial World Cup qualifying game against Greece at Old Trafford next week. He may well have his eye on a certain Mr. Sheringham this afternoon. And what price the striker getting back in the England squad? Mickey, you're alongside me this afternoon. Teddy Sheringham, he's been everywhere, he's done everything, he's won the entire lot. What's the chances of him getting back into the England squad, do you think, at this late stage?
I think his age probably will go against him, very good and truthful. I mean, he's a wonderful player, still got the ability to produce great goals. But the thing about Tottenham, he's in that side now, and I think they're a better side with him in it. And against his old club this afternoon, Manchester United, what's the odds on him to score?
6-1, I'll tell you.
Well,
which isn't a bad bet for a 35-year-old, is it?
Well, he's a wonderful player, as I said. And, you know, Glenn Hoddle's changed things around at Tottenham. It's going to be a difficult game for United, but with Beckham and Veron still in the side, and the partnership who I think that United needed, they've got it this afternoon. Let's see if they can produce goals.
Well, we certainly expect it to produce goals, because Manchester United have 2 proven goal scorers in their lineup this afternoon. Alex Ferguson reverting to the old system of 4-4-2 and partnering Andrew Cole alongside Ruud van Nistelrooy in attack this afternoon. The full lineup: Bartos in goal, Irwin at left back, Gary Neville at right back, the 2 centre-backs, Ronnie Johnson and Laurent Blanc, David Beckham on the right side of midfield with Paul Scholes on the left. No Ryan Giggs this afternoon, not even on the bench. He must have picked up an injury somewhere along the line. Juan Sebastian Veron and Nicky Butt filling in for the suspended skipper Roy Keane, sent off 2 weeks ago against Newcastle, of course. The subs this afternoon: Roy Carroll, Luke Chadwick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Phil Neville and Mikael Silvestre. Spurs lining up this afternoon with Neil Sullivan in goal, a back 3 of Chris Perry, Ledley King and Dean Richards. two wing-backs, Christian Ziege and Maurizio Taricco. Three across the middle, Gus Poyet, Stefan Freund and Darren Anderton. And the two men up front, Les Ferdinand and Teddy Sheringham. The subs, Keller, Rebrov, Thelwell, Davis and Etherington. Our referee this afternoon, as if things couldn't get any worse, is the bigoty beard Jeff Winter, who sent off two players and dished out 19 yellow cards in just 4 games so far this afternoon. Let's hope, Mickey, that it's not a repeat of the Arsenal versus Leeds game a couple of weeks ago, which saw cards flying out like it was Christmas.
That's right. I mean, Jeff Winter does like to take centre stage, and it's about the football team playing football. But with this referee, he does like to produce the cards, and hopefully this afternoon he doesn't produce any.
Well, you have to bear with us this afternoon. We will do our best to describe the action to you, not only back in the Northwest, but also around the world on the official Manchester United website. But the commentary position here at Spurs is quite frankly the worst in the Premiership. We are literally just behind the Spurs dugout, so if there are any substitutions to be made, we'll probably know about it before the Spurs players do themselves. We are right next to the tunnel. The view, well, we can see the players beautifully on this near side touchline, but on the far side, well, we don't know them from Adam or Eve, for that matter, on the far side of the pitch. But we will do our best. Our two giant screens here at White Hart Lane, and fingers crossed they will keep us slightly more in touch with the action than we'll be able to. Literally just on the halfway line, but almost at ground level, as the Spurs mascot leads the pitch away to our left-hand side. Looks quite ridiculous in some kind of outfit that looks like a giant cockerel. It's about 7 feet tall. David Beckham and Gary Neville just having a few words with each other on this near side touchline before we get ourselves underway. Referee Jeff Winter just having a few words with his assistants, make sure that everybody is ready to go. David Beckham wearing the captain's armband this afternoon, and those silvery boots of his, as Jeff Winter finally blows the whistle, and we're off and underway at White Hart Lane on 105.4 Century FM Soccer Saturday in association with Vodafone, following the champions on the UK's most popular network. And it's Paul Scholes who gets an early ball down, but it's picked up by Les Ferdinand on the edge of the centre circle. Anderton plays it short in towards Freund, rolls it across towards the near side touchline towards Ziege. Here's Poyet on towards the edge of the penalty area, squirms away from him. Teddy Sheringham trying to just knock it forward back in the path of the Uruguayan, but it just rolled a little bit too far forward for him, and Fabien Barthez gets his hands on the ball for the first time this afternoon. Dennis Irwin launching it forward for Manchester United, but coming back to do some defending is Stefan Freund, and he's knocked it straight into the stand on the opposite side. But there's a flag gone up on the far side, not entirely sure what that was for, but Jeff Winter, early doors, blowing his whistle and trying to stamp his authority on the game. Now, we don't know what sort of a decision's being made here. There's a right old conversation going on between Jeff Winter and the linesman on the far side. Now, it's semaphore for a minute or two because they're shouting at each other. Obviously can't hear each other at all. You can hear what the crowd noise is like here at White Hart Lane. It's a sellout. There's not a seat to be had for love nor money. And the two of them have no idea what's going on. Eventually, a free kick's given to Manchester United. Veron takes it and picks up David Beckham on this near side touchline. Normal service is resumed, but with Jeff Winter in charge, expect anything. United lose out. King picks it up for Tottenham. It's a flicked ball over the top there from Richards, making his debut for Spurs this afternoon following his £8.1 million move from Southampton, but he only succeeds in finding Laurent Blanc, who finds Gary Neville, and the Frenchman knocks it back over to the top towards Ruud van Nistelrooy, and it comes straight off his shins and goes for an early throw on the near side touchline. Richards to take it. Long throw in towards King over on the far side. On the edge of the penalty area is Chris Perry. Prays a ball wide to the right hand side. Anderton over the top. Ferdinand goes up for it but can't control it. It comes off the chest of Beckham, but Veron skews his shot. Beckham eventually picks it back up again though. Here's Beckham once more. Quick touch from Veron, but Anderton robs him. Ferdinand comes across, but so does Nicky Butt, and Butt gets hold of it, right-footed over towards the edge of the centre circle. Good nod down from Van Nistelrooy. Scholes away to the left-hand side, finds Andrew Cole. He's got Beckham away to his right if he can find him, but he goes for Scholes instead. Scholes in towards the edge of the penalty area. Square ball towards the right-hand side towards Nicky Butt. Crossing towards the far post, but there's absolutely nobody there. And it's a steady start from both sides, Mickey T.
Yeah, good play by United, especially Nicky Butt. The final ball by him was poor, of course, but good passing movement in midfield. Scholes, Veron linking up well.
Neil Sullivan, the man who will knocking out 43 games for Spurs last season, keeping just 13 clean sheets, which is not a great record for a goalkeeper, but a Scottish international and rated very, very highly, particularly by you, Mick.
Yeah, without doubt, brings the class up.
Owen brings it down. There was a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Spurs win themselves the free kick. Tarico takes it quickly, finds Anderton. Anderton lining it up on his right, but goes for Tarico again over on the far side. Scholes getting in front of him. Also Irwin making their presence felt. It's gone for another throw on the far side, and it's Irwin who has bundled the ball out. And it will go for a Spurs throw. Stefan Freund is right up with the level of the 6-yard box. It's a long throw from him. Tries to nod it down, Richards. Might get swung out. Scholes stabs it away. Comes out towards the right-hand side, though, through Anderton. Spurs still on the attack in towards the edge of the penalty area and brought down there. Ferdinand, the referee says play on. It's gone for a throw. Let's quickly go to Goodison Park. Everton, West Ham, Vinny O'Connor.
Bad news for Evertonians, I'm afraid. Paul Gascoigne has had to go off. It looks like it's going to be Mark Pembridge that will come on for the Everton midfielder, but that's a big blow for the Blue, Sharpie.
It certainly is. We don't still know. He's over on the far side. He's down getting treatment. At one stage, the physio had signalled that he'd no longer taken part in the game. Gaza decided he wants to still be out there. Walter Smith's on the touchline. It might be Mark Pembridge getting on, but Gaza is determined to come back on the field of play.
There has been two good chances though for Everton, Campbell and Radzinski, both in the area, but Hislop did well to smother both opportunities.
Yeah, very, very good start from Everton, but West Ham just getting into the play now.
It remains Everton 0, West Ham 0.
Van Nistelrooy in towards the edge of the box, trying to feed it through towards Cole. Cole back towards Van Nistelrooy, gets a shot in, and it just squirmed away to the left-hand side, with Sullivan diving out with both arms outstretched. It didn't quite get hold of it as much as he'd like to, the Dutchman, but it obviously took a deflection because it's gone for a United corner.
Yeah, well played by Andy Cole and Ruud van Nistelrooy, linking up well together there. Good ball in by Andy Cole, and with the shot by Nistelrooy, just took a deflection. United have a corner and Beckham will take it.
Beckham's first corner of the afternoon. 6 minutes on the clock so far. Swung in by Beckham, right-footed, but it's far too low, and it's headed straight back out by Richards. Picked up on the far side by Freund, looking for a little bit of help from Anderton. Anderton turns and spins and knocks the ball upfield, but there's no one there. He's just expecting Ferdinand and perhaps Sheringham to have got a little bit further forward, but had no joy. Ferdinand putting a bit of pressure on Gary Neville as Bartes left-footed knocks the ball upfield. It goes over the top of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Cole chasing after it, but Sullivan will come wide to the left-hand side of his box and just play it into the feet of Richards. Picked up at the back now by Perry. Freund gets a quick touch to it before Perry puts it up again. Right-footed ball high into the air over the top, looking for Les Ferdinand to chase, but he's got Ronnie Johnson alongside him, and the pair of them hold each other off before the ball goes out of play, and much to the consternation of the home side, it's gone out for a throw the way of Manchester United. Fabian Barthez actually coming out to chase it. Now what's going on? Is he actually giving a throw, or is he giving a dead ball kick there, Mickey?
No, he's going to get a free kick he's got, and he's going to take the free kick. But just going back to that corner by United, again, David Beckham, the last couple of games he hasn't produced the quality that United need to get goals from.
Barthez it will be then to take the free kick, left-footed, high ball into the air. Cole is underneath it. Van Nistelrooy goes falling flat on his backside. Scholes looked as though he might just run onto that one though, but it's picked up in the back by King. High ball in the air. Ziege gets ahead to it. Now what on earth is the referee given now?
Sheringham has caught Gary Neville on the back of the head there. I didn't see it, but the referee did.
Obviously sees things that a lot of people don't. Spurs back in possession though. Sheringham, high ball over the top for Ferdinand to chase, and Ronnie Johnson did well, getting just in front of him. Gary Neville under pressure, right up against the corner flag, manages to get his body around the ball and turn himself through, but Freund gets a quick head on. Veron will chase it, will go out for a throw on this near side touchline to Spurs, and nice play there from Ferdinand.
That's right, yeah, causing one or two problems now, Les. He's got good movement, you know, he's getting on in years, but he's quick and he's sharp.
King's throw finds Freund through the centre, away to the right towards the edge of the penalty area. Anderton with one of those probing balls, but Scholes got in front of it first. Blanc back to Johnson, lovely one-touch stuff, United, and Veron squirms it away to the left-hand side towards Dennis Owen, brings it in field towards Nicky Butt, playing for the injured, suspended Roy Keane, sent off for that challenge, shall we say, against Alan Shearer at Newcastle a couple of weeks ago. David Beckham picks it up on the near side. Here's Veron, plays it short inside towards Nicky Butt, tried to bring it through towards Van Nistelrooy, might fall for Cole on the edge of the penalty area, but Poyet was coming back, and Ferdinand goes up for the header in towards the edge of the box. Sheringham tries to bring it down, but Ronnie Johnson, former teammates of course, just getting it away from him, and shepherds the ball back towards the penalty area where Fabien Barthez will hoof it upfield. We'll go to the Reebok Stadium in a couple of minutes, check up on Bolton versus Sunderland. Here's Veron though through central midfield, away to the right hand side. It's too far, or is it? Andrew Cole in towards the edge of the box, takes a shot away to the right hand side, too far, and Spurs will keep it in play, but Cole was being shoved a long way to the right hand side there, Mickey.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Veron though, down the right hand side, and a tight angle for Cole. He got his shot in, but he went across and Scholes didn't get on the end of it.
Free kick on the far side, but tries to bring it in but can't, and Spurs clear upfield. Up to the Reebok then, Bolton versus Sunderland. Alan Myers.
Just 10 minutes on the clock here. Bolton 0, Sunderland 0. A couple of bright attacks by Bolton. Gardner causing a nuisance of himself inside the Sunderland box. Couldn't get the crossover to Wallace though in time. Sunderland just coming back into the game though. We've had 10 minutes 0-0.
Gazette has indeed gone off for Everton at Goodison Park, home to West Ham this afternoon. Pembridge coming on, so a very, very short return to the Premiership for Paul Gascoigne, sadly. We wish him well. High ball over the top, Ferdinand nods it back, but there's a flag up on the far side, and that was up fairly quickly, and to be fair, the linesman got it spot on there, Mickey.
I'm glad he did, because the United in defence at that time were asleep, got caught out.
As has been the case many a time so far this season. It's been the topic of much debate. Scholes is fouled on the edge of the centre circle, away to the left-hand side. Jeff Winter spotting that one quickly. Well, he didn't have much of a choice, it was right in front of him really. And United get themselves the free kick on the edge of the centre circle. Veron in towards Scholes, back towards Butt. Here's Van Nistelrooy now, back towards Butt again. Takes a right-footed shot, just wide of the right-hand post. But my word, Neil Sullivan was stood in the Spurs goal like a statue.
That looked a goal all the way by Nicky, but Sullivan for me was well beaten. But what movement and passing by Veron, Scholes and Butt. Fantastic play by United.
David Beckham just looking over our way and having a long, hard stare as Paddington Bear would have done at Christian Ziege. Going back to my childhood for a second there. But it was certainly that kind of a stare. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but Manchester United have given away a free kick almost on the edge of the centre circle inside United territory, and Darren Anderton is lining this one up. 5 men in the wall for United, 6 for Spurs, jockeying for position. Anderton gets it in over the top. Blanc is the first to it. What's the referee given? He's pointing at Gus Poyet, and he must have been the man using his elbows there, just to give himself a little bit more flight in the air as the ball came through. And United get themselves a free kick, which Blanc wants to take about 15 yards further on from where it should have been. And Jeff Winter, rightly so, saying, hang on a second, just let's knock that one a little bit further back. There's been a goal at the City Ground. Forest 1, Stockport 0. Jack Lester, the scorer in the First Division. It's back with Sullivan, right-footed ball. High into the air, Owen goes up for it, but only succeeds in nodding it on as far as Sheringham. Sheringham's lost possession momentarily before it's brought back in. Crossing towards the edge of the box, Poyet was lurking around, but Blanc was there first of all. Sheringham goes back in for a header, but it's over the top of everybody and into the hands of Fabien Barthez. And it's not really been that free-flowing or attacking a game as we might have expected to see from these two sides, Mickey.
Well, I think you have to blame the referees, blowing up for everything, Jeff Winter. But United in defence, Ronnie Johnson, Laurent Blanc, question marks against him, of course, for his pace. Haven't started this game too badly for me.
We'll go to Main Road in a moment. Check up on Manchester City. Sheringham tries to bring it down. Irwin gets it clear with Poyet all over his back for a second or two, but Ziege gets it forward again now and towards the edge of the box towards Ferdinand. Here's Ziege once more, trying to shuffle his way through, but 2 defenders bring him down on the edge of the box, and Blanc comes away with it. Near side touchline, David Beckham, square ball in towards the edge of the centre circle. Van Nistelrooy had his back to it, and he was being shackled at the back by Richards anyhow. So it comes back in towards central midfield, and Freund knocks it back towards Richards again. Left-footed ball high up over the top. Ferdinand gets his head to it. And shouts for a penalty there, I think, because there was a bit of shoving going on between Jonsson and Ferdinand certainly thinks that he was shoved in the back there.
I think it is a case there. I mean, the referee never seen it. He was only 10 yards away from it.
Veron away to the right-hand side. Takes a deflection. Will go towards Neil Sullivan, but a long way off the edge of his box, and he has to come out some considerable distance. A foot up high there, surely, against Ziege. And Jeff Winter having a word with him. And he's going to pull out the card here. Well, that's ridiculous, because Ziege went for the ball quite clearly, and Nicky Butt argued the what's it with it, and now Nicky Butt is the man who's going into the book. That is absolutely ridiculous, and he's getting 10 yards as well.
That's stupid. I mean, the referee, Jeff Winter, I mean, he's only just threw the ball down, with obviously upset about the decision, but to give him a yellow card and so early in the game, oh, that's not going to tell United that the game goes on.
Ziege's boot was almost in Nicky Butt's face. There's a clear case to argue about the decision. Spurs get it, swung in low and pushed away by Owen, but it'll go for a corner. And if Spurs were to score from this, it would be an absolute travesty.
Well, I agree with you, Fraser. Absolutely ridiculous decision by Jeff Winter. The other corner, Christian Ziege will take it.
Ziege goes over to the far side as United come back. There's only Andrew Cole that is anywhere outside of the penalty area. Swung in by Ziege, low to the near post and goal! And scoring on his debut for Tottenham Hotspur is Dean Richards. Grant Hoddle wanted £8.1 million spending on him, and that's why Alex Ferguson said they'd be dangerous on set pieces, and the prophecy has come true. It's Spurs 1, Manchester United 0.
Great ball in by Christian Ziege, pure quality, and Dean Richards on his debut, unmarked, you have to say, bad defending by United. Open goal for him in the end, and Dean Richards have put Tottenham now 1 goal up.
And it's a goal that should never have been scored, because it all started with the free kick when Nicky Butt had his face almost taken off by Christian Ziege's boot. The referee saw it the other way. Butt was booked. They got an extra 10 yards. The free kick was knocked out for a corner, and Spurs got themselves the goal. Let's go to Main Road, see what's happening there. Manchester City at home to Wimbledon. Stuart Arrowsmith.
Still no goals at Main Road, but Manchester City could easily be 3 up here. Sean Gota flashing a header wide. Darren Huckabee having a good chance on the left, but well saved by Kelvin Davis. And other chances as well so far, Gary Owen.
Yeah, it's been all City so far. And just a shot there which Nicky Wavers had to pluck from underneath the crossbar. You can probably hear the applause. But really, it's worst City finish against Walsall. They've started here. They're pushing forward at every opportunity. How the score is still 0-0, I've no idea.
A good start from City, but still no goals.
Manchester United in possession here at White Hart Lane on 105.4 Century FM Soccer Sunday in association with Vodafone, the UK's most popular network. It's a throw on the far side. Ronnie Jonsson will take it. It's goalless everywhere else in the Premiership. But Charlton versus Leicester, I'm told, is being moved back to a 3:15 kickoff, I suspect because of crowd congestion. Laurent Blanc is at the back, finds Gary Neville. Nicky Butt knocks it back towards the Frenchman. Here's Veron through the centre towards Nicky Butt. Comes in towards the near side touchline, just in front of us. We're literally within breathing distance, more or less, of the United players on the near side. So close down here at White Hart Lane is the press box to the touchline. And Gary Neville will take the throw deep inside Spurs territory. Beckham in front of him. Van Nistelrooy calling for it, but it goes straight back towards Richards and stabbed down by Sheringham before he finds Anderton away down the right hand side. Poyet gets his boot in there, but so does Nicky Butt. Through the centre towards Andrew Cole. A little shimmy from him, drops the left shoulder, shoves it back in towards Van Nistelrooy. Touch back towards Cole, away towards Veron. Veron in towards the edge of the box. A right-footed shot. It was a thunderbolt, but it was just over the bar.
Yeah, not bad effort from Veron. Good build-up by United. Nicky Butt again. Andy Cole showing good skill and good ability to go past the defenders. But United, for me, the goal they conceded, you know, who was marking Dean Richards? There must have been someone on him. He's got away from him, he's put the ball in the back of the net. Disappointment by United.
Let's catch up on the First Division League leaders. We'll go down to the Hawthorns. West Brom versus table-topping Burnley. Andy Bays.
Still no goals here at the Hawthorns, but the home side is certainly on top. In the first minute, Scott Dobie could have converted from a Bob Taylor cross. Andy Johnson and Derek McInnes have fired wide from long range. And just a moment ago, Larrick Sigurdsson mishit across. It almost went in the top corner, but Nick McCoppler saved well. It's still West Brom 0, Burnley 0.
And there's drama at Main Road. Back to Stuart Arrowsmith.
It's a penalty to Wimbledon here at Main Road, as a shot from Connolly was well saved by Weaver, and as Connolly came in for the rebound, Benabia brought down the Irish forward, and there's a chance here for, I think Michael Hughes is going to step up to take this one, is he? Connolly's going to take it. Stuart Pearce just inside the penalty area as the Manchester City fans, trying to put off the players. There's a man down on that far side, so it'll just delay the taking of this penalty for a moment. But Gary Owen, just while there's a break in play, no doubt that it was a penalty.
Yeah, I think it's a penalty without a doubt. But right from one end where we had a free kick, Benabia put in a two. He struck one that, in all intents and purposes, going in. It goat on the way in. They broke away. Tiatu, who's having treatment at the moment now, collided with one of the Wimbledon players. From that break, I think it was Michael Hughes that got the shot. Connolly tried to put it in. Benabia chasing back, tried to make a challenge, certain penalty, and now we're just waiting. Nicky Weaver on his line. David Connolly looking to add to his 4 goals this season as the boos go round Main Road.
Yep, the referee just waving away the Manchester City players as David Connolly steps up, Republic of Ireland international, in front of Nicky Weaver. You can hear the Manchester City fans in the background. Here comes Connolly, strikes one, it's a goal for Wimbledon. 20 minutes gone and Wimbledon lead. Wimbledon 1, Manchester City 0.
Still Spurs 1, Manchester United 0 here at White Hart Lane. And United have themselves a free kick, but it's a long way out on this near side touchline. And David Beckham will take it. It's literally right up against the line. Here he comes, right-footed, swings it in towards the far post. It's headed away by Richards, who's shaping up to have a great debut so far. He's the scorer of the goal. And Nicky Butt has been shoved over on the edge of the Spurs penalty area. And it's Maurizio Tellico who is guilty of the shove. Jeff Winter waving away half a dozen Spurs players or so. But a clear-cut case there, Nicky.
Yeah, I think the referee was right. It's Beckham's position for me. I think Veron's round the ball, but if anyone's going to hit this, it's got to be David Beckham. It was a great free kick he's just took. Can he produce a better free kick?
Beckham will line this one up then. It's away to the left-hand side very slightly. It's about 30 yards out, perhaps just a little bit less. Jeff Winter making sure everybody is the full 10 yards back. Veron and Beckham both standing up for it. But Beckham the most likely candidate. Here he comes, right-footed, goes for goal. It takes a deflection. Might come out towards Gary Neville on the near side touchline, but Richard shepherding the ball, cannons it against Gary Neville's shins, and it goes out for a dead ball kick. Forest 2, Stockport 0, the latest from the City ground. Jack Lester with his second, scoring twice against Peggy Arfexad, who signed on a short-term deal yesterday for Stockport County. So welcome to the First Division for Peggy Arfexad.
That's right, yeah, conceding them goals. But Dean Richards, he scored on his debut, and at the moment he's playing with lots of confidence. You'll get that when you score a goal anyway, but he looks a class act at the moment.
Glenn Hoddle's made some shrewd signings, and that certainly would appear to be another. Here's Gary Neville, almost on the edge of his own penalty area. Nicky Butt, little back heel from him. He tried to flick it through towards Andrew Cole, but had no joy. Sheringham goes for a long-range effort, trying to find Ferdinand, but the extrasensory perception between the two of them had broken down for a moment or two. And Barthez, quick as you like, scampers out and just knocks it away to the right-hand side, where he finds Laurent Blanc, who finds Juan Veron, and back out towards the other side, towards Dennis Irwin. Brings it forward onto the chest of Andrew Cole, being hassled at the back from Tarico. But United regain possession, and here's Ronnie Johnson, almost on the edge of the centre circle. A right-footed ball, headed away by Freund, but nobody there with him. And nodded straight back towards Fabian Barthez. We'll be back to Goodison Park in a second. Over the top, Richards is first to react to it, but it comes off the chest of Nicky Butt. Paul Scholes finds Gary Neville on this near side touchline. And through the centre is David Beckham, stands on the ball, holds it up, flicks it over the top towards Van Nistelrooy. Edge of the box, Van Nistelrooy past one, past another, back heel towards Cole. Cole's run into trouble, might come to Veron with a shot, right-footed. But you can tell from the reaction from the home crowd that it's high into the stand, but it was a good effort.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad effort from Veron. Good play again by Nistelrooy, trying to link up with Andy Cole, couldn't get the shot off, it came back to Veron. but well over the bar.
Back to Goodison, Everton versus West Ham. Vinny O'Connor.
West Ham so very nearly just taking the lead there. Paolo Di Canio as Pembridge strikes it just outside the penalty area, wide of goal. Well, it's almost end-to-end stuff at the present moment, but West Ham should have taken the lead a few moments ago. Di Canio 6 yards out, met Schemmel's cross, but got it all wrong with his right foot and wide of the far post, Sharpie.
Yeah, it should have been the first shot on target, at least from Di Canio. Everton hitting back there. Mark Pembridge went close on a couple of occasions. Certainly since the loss of Gascoigne, they seem to have lost a little bit of spark, Everton, but certainly end-to-end stuff, and it's Emby's game.
Still Everton 0 though, West Ham 0.
Still Spurs 1, Manchester United 0, and Spurs have a free kick on the far side. It's a long, long way out. Anderton lining it up. Steps over the ball. Ziege slaps it in slow and low, and there is Wan Veron to knock it straight back out. Derby 0, Arsenal 1, latest from the Premiership. Thierry Henry, the scorer, up at Pride Park. The throw to be taken on the far side for Spurs then by Freund. Looks like he's lining up a great big long one because he's as far back as he can go up against the advertising hoardings. In it comes Richards with the flick on towards the far post, but brings it down in towards Poyet. He takes it on his chest and went for the acrobatic volley, right-footed, but it's high into the stand away to our left.
Yeah, Stefan Freud there with a long throw into the box. Dean Richards got the flick on, it came out to guess out. Poyet couldn't finish it though.
Well, we heard before the game started, Mickey, the interview with Alex Ferguson, and he was saying that he was somewhat worried about set pieces in this game because they got 4 or 5 players, Spurs, who are well over 6 foot, and they've certainly caused problems so far.
It's the quality as well. I mean, when Ziege gets on that left-hand side there with his left foot, he puts over some super crosses.
Tariko down the right-hand side. Whistle blown momentarily, but get on with it, says the referee. Irwin having to chase back and just flaps it in front of Barthez, who knocks it upfield, and it was almost knocked back in towards the penalty area, but it's gone out for another Spurs throw. Level with the edge of the United box, picked up by Poyet. Flicked over towards his near side touchline. Ferdinand with a header, trying to bring it back in towards Sheringham. It might come back out towards Poyet, but again knocked away, and Sheringham was given the freedom of the United box there for a moment. Still in possession. Blanc gets a foot to it, but here at the back now is Tariko, right-footed on the edge of the centre circle, but he stumbled over, and Scholes has regained possession. Veron loses it in towards the edge of the box. The flag up on the far side. Ferdinand goes for it and goes for goal and scores. The flag stayed down, and Les Ferdinand, almost from the edge of the box, has stuck it in the back of the net, and Manchester United have gone to pieces at the back. It's Spurs 2, Manchester United 0.
Awful marking again by United at the back. Got caught out there by the ball by Poyet to Ferdinand. No one marking him. 17 yards out. An excellent finish. United now in big trouble.
25 minutes gone and United are 2-0 down, and David Beckham walks towards us and looks for inspiration from the United bench, because they are looking like a team in major trouble. You cannot let the likes of Ferdinand, Sheringham and Poyet have the freedom of the box at the back, and that is what Manchester United have done.
Well, they're not marking Fraser, they're not picking up the players, and Ferdinand for me, 3 on goal.
United now in possession though, bringing it forward. Ziege's there at the back, Beckham chasing up towards him, and I think this one is yours, Mickey, as it might just land in the middle of the press box just in front of us. You were closer to that than I was.
But Fraser, I mean, the marking at the moment at United at the back, he's simply not picking up winners.
I think they're going to have to put the floodlights on here before long, because a couple of huge black clouds have covered the sun. It's gone very, very dark here all of a sudden at White Hart Lane. Gary Neville with a little back flick towards David Beckham. Veron flicks it over towards the edge of the box. Van Nistelrooy can't hold it up, but Scholes can. But Scholes was backing in, and Jeff Winter's given the free kick, and again that seemed to me unfairly.
I think it was unfair as well. Great ball into Veron, from Veron to Scholes, who held the ball up well, but Jeff Winter thought differently.
Very, very gloomy here now.
Well, it is with the United fan.
Lane. Well, I'm just thinking of the actual light, Mickey, because it's getting very difficult now to see just to the other side of the stadium. Perhaps they need 50p to put in the meter or something.
I agree with you. It's got to come on now. The lights is very, very dark. But United at the moment, 6s and 7s at the back. Something's got to change, Fraser.
Les Ferdinand's been bundled over, but the ball's gone out for a throw near side. Deep inside United territory. Gary Neville with a great big long throw. Richards, though, first to it, knocks it straight back in. Freund nods it down. Sheringham got in the way of it. and almost turned it out towards Ferdinand away to his left, but Barthez first man to it. Here's Buck now to Veron down the left-hand side. Ronnie Johnson coming forward, brings it in towards Scholes, back towards Veron again on the halfway line. Running down the side on the left is Dennis Irwin, but the sliding tackle comes in and forces a throw, and it will be a Spurs throw. They waste it, but Sheringham picks it up again for the team in white. The rain's starting to come down now here at White Hart Lane, and various officials on the touchline pointing at the sky, pointing at each other, and then pointing at the floodlights. And at last somebody flicks the switch and we will eventually have light. But there's been a foul a long way out, but there's Beckham having a shove somewhere at Freund, and there's a bit of argy-bargy going on here. Nicky Butt getting involved, Andrew Cole getting involved, Tariko getting involved as well. The free kick's being given the way of Manchester United. It's only just over the halfway line, but pushing and shoving going on in the centre. And United, fingers crossed, not guilty again of losing their cool as they did at Newcastle a couple of weeks ago.
It was Stephen Freud there. He caught Paul Scholes late. He's reacted. He said it wasn't a foul. He had to go to the referee. David Beckham came over, said one or two words to him.
Well, Paul Scholes and Gus Poyet shaking hands and being told to kiss and make up, so to speak. The floodlights very slowly coming on, but it's still very, very gloomy here, very difficult to see. And Beckham lining this one up. And well, if Sullivan lets this one go, he'll be able to say, well, he couldn't see it because it was too dark. Here comes Beckham, strikes it right-footed, goes for the corner. Sullivan guessed right, scampered away to his right-hand side and straight into his hands.
I have to say that was a special free kick by David Beckham, but Neil Sullivan in goal for Tottenham was equal to it.
Sheringham bringing it forward. United try and regain possession. Owen finds Veron. He'll be back up to the Reebok in a second or two. Into the centre and finds Laurent Blanc before Veron tries to bring it forward on the edge of the centre circle. Lining it up right-footed. Short ball in towards Nicky Butt. Away to the right-hand side towards Gary Neville. Plays it back in towards Veron again. He loses possession. Ferdinand goes sliding in. Spurs trying to hit them on the break. Ferdinand's gone down. Laurent Blanc is the man in the tackle. The referee, Jeff Winters, blowing his whistle again. That gives us a break. We'll go up to the Reebok. Bolton versus Sunderland, Alan Myers.
Yes, just over half an hour gone here. Still we await the first goal. We've had a couple of chances for Bolton. Wallace on 25 minutes got free, found Holsworth in the box. Holsworth though could only foul when there's a Holsworth shot that's just wide. Holsworth though on that occasion could only just find the grass and not the ball. We've got our first booking of the afternoon. Gavin McCann booked for a foul on Paul Warhurst. We wait the first goal though, 31 minutes, 0-0.
As Ferdinand still getting some treatment. We'll go down to the Hawthorns. West Brom versus Burnley. Any news of a goal, Andy Bays?
There's no news of a goal for Burnley, Fraser. There's no news of a goal for West Brom either. They have had their chances though, a succession of Neil Clement in swinging corners. Actually they've come to nothing. Scott Dobie broke down the right hand side, his long ball into the box, didn't pick out Bob Taylor, only picked out Steve Davis. The Clarets have created absolutely nothing since you were last with us. It's still 0-0.
Free kick that went the way of Manchester United, but they couldn't do anything with it. The Spurs are back in possession. Oldham 2, Notts County 0. Dudley and a Fenton own goal. Spurs down the right hand side. Poyet in towards Sheringham with a shot. Couldn't get hold of it properly. And well, what price Teddy Sheringham scoring against his old side this afternoon.
Yeah, well, great play by Tottenham Hotspur down that right hand side. Gustavo Poyet for me looking good at the moment. Great ball in the box and Sheringham just couldn't get on the end of it.
Rochdale 1, Mansfield 0. A Clive Platt goal for Rochdale. Ziga will take the corner on the far side for Tottenham Hotspur. Plays it in left-footed. Richards goes in for the header again, but it's knocked away and will be picked up by Anderton. Long way out though. Plays it down the right-hand side. Ziga couldn't get hold of it, and it will go out for another dead ball kick. And at last we have light at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, very dark though, you have to say that, Fraser. At this present time, Tottenham playing all the football. United have got to get a grip in midfield as well. Nicky Butt, one Veron.
Veron with a chop over the top here. Cole will pick it up on the near side touchline in towards the edge of the box. There's been a goal at Main Road. We'll be back there in a second, but United have given possession away. We'll go to Main Road. Stuart Harris-Smith.
It's bad news for Manchester City. They've just gone 2-0 down here to Wimbledon. David Connolly, who got the first from the penalty spot, got the second one after Darlington went past Richard Dunn on the left-hand side. His cross, and Connolly got in behind the Manchester City defence to head past Nicky Weaver. And Gary Owen, after dominating the game, City somehow find themselves 2 down. down.
It's quite unbelievable. The scoreline could easily be 4-2 to Manchester City and not the 2 goals behind. The penalty first, then Connolly, which is the alarming thing, is that when the ball was knocked into the box 6 yards from goal, completely unmarked, and how that was allowed to happen, I have no idea. City find themselves 2 goals behind.
Still 2 goals behind Manchester United here against Spurs. Dean Richards making his debut, and Les Ferdinand with his first goal since the last game of last season, which, surprise, surprise, was against Manchester United. Here's Veron trying to roll it through for the Reds, but Anderton plays it away down the left-hand side. Ferdinand has found himself a little bit of space. He's got Blanc in front of him, comes inside in towards the edge of the box, plays it square towards Sheringham. Sheringham has it taken off his feet, though, by Veron, and Scholes comes away with it through the centre for Manchester United. Cole with a touch back to Veron, back to Van Nistelrooy, back to Veron again. One-touch stuff. United need to get penetrating more. Cole brings it down on the edge of the area with his back to goal, trying to turn round. Cole with a shot, takes a deflection from Richards, getting his foot in there, and it will go away for another United corner. But again, tremendous defending from the debut boy.
Yeah, great play by Dean Richards. I mean, Andy Cole looking sharp, I have to say that. Give him enough of the ball, I'm sure he can score this afternoon.
Dean Richards has never played for England, but with Sven-Göran Eriksson watching this afternoon, he may well have played his way into the squad. Beckham delivers the corner to the far post. Van Nistelrooy goes up for it, but Ferdinand coming back to do some defending and hence it out for a throw near side touchline, which Gary Neville will take. Veron just in front of him, but he goes all the way back towards Dennis Irwin, who's the last man back, plays it away to the left-hand side. Beckham will pick it up, playing with more of a free roll than anything else this afternoon. Flicked over the top in the direction of Van Nistelrooy, but surprise, surprise, Dean Richards was there first. It might come back to Van Nistelrooy, though. Edge of the box, he's brought down. The referee has his arms in the air and says that was not a penalty and you will not get a sniff, but there's a United player gone down. The trainers are coming on, but what about that? Was there a shout for a penalty there, perhaps?
I think he had a case there. I think the referee got it wrong, Jeff Winter, but he got it wrong with Nicky Butt because there was such a late challenge on him. He's gone down. I'm sure it's his ribs that he's feeling at this present time. Bad decision by Jeff Winter. He should have produced a yellow card.
Well, he's produced more than his fair share of yellow cards so far this season. I mentioned earlier, 19 yellow and 2 reds in 4 games, Mickey.
Perhaps he's got none left. I don't know. I mean, that was a very, very late challenge on Nicky Butt. He's seen it clearly, he let play go on, he played the advantage, that's not bad, but you have to go and see the player that did the damage. He hasn't done that.
Nicky Butt receiving treatment then. Let's go back up to Goodison Park. Everton West Ham. Any sign of a goal, Vinny O'Connor?
Still goalless at the moment. Everton have had penalty appeals since you were last with us, when Radzinski shot in the box and it seemed to come off Rigobert Song's hand, and also Naismith tried a curling effort from the edge of the penalty area that perhaps he should have done a little bit better with. Schemmel got the block in there sharply.
Yeah, certainly. It's not a bad game, Vinny. Everton going forward, obviously after the loss of Gascoigne, but they're getting forward. Some of the play is good, you know, the interchanging between Campbell and Radzinski up front. The partnership looks quite bright, so certainly there's a possibility still. Might go into half-time at 0-0, but certainly I think there is goals in the game.
Hislop's also had to turn over a Pembridge corner from the right-hand side, but it remains Everton 0, West Ham 0.
Maurizio Taricco is the man guilty of the foul on Nicky Butt, and Butt, sadly for Manchester United, by the looks of things, is going to have to be stretchered off. He was down on the floor for quite some time. He's been raised to his feet now, but he doesn't look happy in the slightest, Mickey.
I'm not happy with the referee. I mean, he's seen Taricco come in. You know, it's definitely a yellow card. I don't know why he hasn't produced it. He produced one for Nicky Butt for throwing the ball down. That's what makes me mad about referees. They don't see the serious challenges.
Isn't it Maurizio Taricco who's involved in those incidents at Everton earlier on in the season?
Yeah, against Gravison. I think it was Gravison. He caught him late. Quite rightly.
Well,
he didn't get punished for it, actually, that challenge.
Luke Chadwick is warming up on the near side touchline. Nicky Butt is walking off with his right arm across his chest. If you can imagine, he's bent his arm and his forearm across his chest, which looks to me, Mickey, like it's either an injury to his ribs or to his arm, or at worst it could be a dislocated shoulder.
I think it's his ribs. I really believe it's that. He went down very, very heavy. Big blow, because, you know, he's looked okay this afternoon, Nicky, for me. He works hard, he's a great tackler. United will miss him.
It has to be said, he looks very, very doubtful for the rest of the game. He's still receiving treatment on the near side touchline, but Sullivan gets us back underway, right-footed up the field, and Ferdinand tries to bring it down. Sheringham's in there as well. Sheringham berating the official on the far side for the decision to give the throw in to Manchester United, but Dennis Irwin finds Juan Veron. Veron lets it go. Sheringham back out towards Anderton. Sheringham again on the edge of the box, but Scholes is in there, and Scholes gets his boot in there. He went for the ball, but it was right between Sheringham's legs, and Jeff Winter will take a very dim view of that one. By the looks of things, he's going to give a drop ball, Mickey.
What a strange decision. I mean, Sheringham had the ball between his legs. All Paul Scholes was trying to get it.
Spurs win it. Poyet gets it, but Scholes comes back in again. Picked up by Van Nistelrooy. Beckham on the near side touchline. Philip Neville is now warming up near side. Over the top, looking for Van Nistelrooy, but too far from Gary Neville. And straight into the hands of Neil Sullivan. And United, Mickey, for my money, just don't seem to have got going yet.
No, they haven't. And Gary Neville, that final ball was an awful one. Before I say any more, I think Van Nistelrooy has had awful service. But Neville at the back, and that they're not playing with confidence, Fraser.
7 minutes to go in the first half. Spurs still leading by 2-0. In fact, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man who is stripped off and who's ready to come on to play. What on earth is going on here, Mickey?
Oh, what a surprise, bringing on Solskjaer. I'm not sure what position he will play.
Well, perhaps he's going to bring Paul Scholes back into the middle and put Solskjaer wide out on the left.
That's his best option, I think. He'd probably do that, Fraser. I have to agree with you.
No Ryan Giggs in the game this afternoon, of course. We suspect he may have picked up an injury. He's not even on the bench. Blanc brings it down towards Veron through the centre circle. Solskjaer is right in front of us now, waiting to take his part in the game again. Irwin will bring it through down the left-hand side in towards Veron. Short ball from Veron. He's let it go yet again. I've lost count the number of times that Veron's given away possession this afternoon. Spurs back with the ball at their feet, and Anderton weighs it across to the right-hand sides towards Tarico. Gets it chucked past Veron. Back out towards Anderton again. Right foot across in towards the edge of the box, and Ledley King's come an awful long way forward. We'll pick it up on this near side touchline. Rolls it in front of Sheringham. Sheringham trying to feed it through towards King again and go for the 1-2, but didn't get any joy, and it rebounds and goes all the way back towards Dean Richards, but it's pushed away to the right hand side. Tarico will pick it up again. There's been a goal at Chesterfield 0, Tranmere 1. Barlow the scorer. Cross in towards the far post. Ferdinand goes in for the header, but too far, and he'll go for a throw on this near side touchline. And yes, indeed, Ole Solskjaer is the man coming on, Mickey.
Yeah, and he can produce the goals. This guy can, and they need one. They need more than one. They need 3 to win this game.
Well, you and I were chatting before the game, and you said to me, give us a prediction, and I said, well, I can see there being plenty of goals in this game, and I actually said 3-3, Mickey.
Well, I hope they can get back in the game. They need a goal. They need it quickly. Disappointing United at the moment.
Well, there's always the half-time team talk, and that often invigorates Manchester United. We've seen it time and again. Here's Paul Scholes through the centre. Finds David Beckham. Beckham right for the ball over the top. Everybody ran forward much too far, much too quickly. And Tarico will pick it up again for Spurs in towards the centre line down the right hand side, plays it in towards Sheringham, holds it up, short ball back towards Anderton, away to the left hand side where Ziege will pick it up in acres of space. Gary Neville skipping across now, the low cross in, looking for Ferdinand. Blanc did well to come and block it and finds Beckham. Beckham right footed, anywhere will do, upfield, but he's managed to find the head of Andrew Cole, who finds Ruud van Nistelrooy. Back towards Cole again on the edge of the centre circle, away to the left hand side. Dennis Irwin brings it in towards Juan Veron, again on the edge of the centre circle. Veron just holds it up now. He's got Scholes in support, but goes for Gary Neville instead, wide on the right hand side. He's got Beckham with him, cross to the far post, over the top and too far for Andrew Cole, who is just being backed up by Tarico again, and it will go for another dead ball kick.
What a great ball in by Gary Neville down this right hand side just below is a super ball in, and Andy Cole at the far post just couldn't get on the end of it. Better play by now.
Elsewhere in the Premiership, it's Spurs 2, Manchester United 0 here, but elsewhere, Derby 0, Arsenal 1. Latest from the Premiership, everywhere else goalless so far. Right for the ball upfield from Sullivan, finds Sheringham, but Ronnie Johnson coming back swinging his right boot, and it takes a touch off the head of Cole and finds Van Nistelrooy in towards Beckham near side touchline, getting forward now Manchester United. Beckham holds it up, brings it towards Scholes on the edge of the box, away to the right hand side. Cole lining it up for Veron with a shot, and Sullivan had to dive down well to his right hand side and spread himself out because Juan Veron had caught it a beaut.
Yeah, great play by United, good save by Sullivan, but Veron hit it superbly well. But great play, Andy Cole, lovely layoff.
Dennis Owen back in possession for Manchester United, but he's robbed from behind by Les Ferdinand through the centre. It's been the case many a time so far this afternoon. Ziege can't quite control it, and Gary Neville right-footed up the field towards Van Nistelrooy. Takes it on his chest, finds Cole. Cole with a chip ball over the top looking for Beckham, and finds him more or less. But King coming just in front of the England captain. And will shepherd the ball away, but manages to find Christian Ziege. Ziege through the centre again towards Anderton, away to the right-hand side. Spurs on the attack. Here's Poyet in towards the centre circle, away to the right-hand side towards Tarico. Three in the middle, over the top, looking for Ferdinand. Gary Neville gets in behind him, tries to bring it down, Brezio Tarico, but to near side. Gary Neville will bring it back and find Ollie Solskjaer with Ledley King crawling all over his back. He's giving away possession. Freund through the middle towards Ziege. Ziege with a short ball in towards Ferdinand, but too short for Sheringham as well. And Beckham bamboozles the pair of them as he goes round the back, slips the ball between his legs and nods it back towards Fabien Barthez, and knocks it straight upfield away to the left-hand side. And United still looking shaky at the back.
Yeah, they haven't got started. I wouldn't like to be in the dressing room at half-time.
The teacups will be flying so much at half-time. I would not like to be in the dressing room. The rain is pouring down here at White Hart Lane, as it always seems to do every time we come here. There's been a goal at Goodison Park. Vinny O'Connor.
Good news for Everton. Kevin Campbell on the score sheet. Everton 1, West Ham 0. Lovely ball from the right-hand side from Nicholas Alexanderson. Found Campbell 6 yards out, who did well to get his head on it and powered it past Shaka Hizzle. Good goal, Charpy.
Yeah, it certainly was. Well worked goal. They passed the ball. You know, they didn't just hump it into the middle. They passed it, got it right. Great ball from Alexanderson. Kevin Campbell just half a yard on his marker. Glancing header. Shaka Hislop, no chance.
A minute away from half-time. Everton 1, West Ham 0.
Bit of handbags here at White Hart Lane. Still Spurs 2, Manchester United 0. And Dennis Owen and Gus Poyet having a few terse words, shall we say, and Jeff Winter having none of it. And out come the cards. 2 more yellows, 1 apiece. And that's 3 so far in the half, Mickey.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff Winter well on target for his average.
Well, the way he's going, I mean, United have got to compete. You have to do that. Daniel Suarez caught Poyet. Poyet wasn't happy and reacted. But, you know, you said about Veron, you've been mentioning him, obviously, in commentary. He hasn't played particularly well. He's been giving the ball away much too easily and put United under pressure.
Spurs with a free kick. Far away on the right-hand side, just on the halfway line. It's a high ball over the top. Sheringham gets the head to it first. Ferdinand tries to bring it down again. And what was the referee giving here? It's a free kick, and it's right on the edge of the penalty area in what will be a very, very dangerous place. And Jeff Winter again spotting a bit of pushing and shoving on the edge of the box. I thought for a moment, for one hideous moment there, he pointed to the penalty spot.
Well, it's almost like a penalty because on the ball is Sheringham, Christian Ziege. They've all got quality. Anderson's there as well. Don't want to concede another one now, or this will be game over.
4 minutes of time to be added on for stoppages, and my word, going in at 3-0 at half-time, well, that really would be a mountain to climb. And Teddy Sheringham is the man who is lining this one up. Also alongside him, Christian Ziege, but it looks like it's going to be Sheringham who's going to go for it, literally inside the D. Here he comes, right-footed. It takes a deflection off the wall and comes straight back at him. So the United defence held out well there.
Yeah, good defending by United. The wall stood firm. Sheringham would love to score this afternoon. He tried his best there.
I don't know who it was, but the ball hit, but I certainly wouldn't have liked to get in the way of that one. That would have been stinging for quite some time afterwards. Paul Scholes picks it up for Manchester United. Through the centre is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he finds him, but he's got his back to goal and he's under pressure, and Van Nistelrooy can't come and help him out. Sheringham gets it for Spurs, through towards Anderton. Sheringham takes it again on his chest and manages to get past Veron, back out towards the right-hand side. Gus Poyet will pick it up for the home side, finds Tarico, get a long ball in towards Anderton. It almost came through, but Scholes will bring it back and clear upfield again for Manchester United. Here's Beckham on the edge of the centre line, through towards Veron, away to the right-hand side. That's much too far for Paul Scholes, and sure enough, Ledley King, as cool as you like, slides in and finds Darren Anderton, who almost found Teddy Sheringham, but Gary Neville picks it up again for Manchester United. Here's Veron through the centre. Jeff Winter just getting in the way of him for a moment or two before Cole picks it up. Now Solskjaer in towards the edge of the box. A late challenge on him. In towards the edge of the box again. But again, the Spurs defenders do their job well. Pick it up near side towards Ziege. Ziege loses it though. Solskjaer, it comes off his shins and goes towards Ziege. And there's a break on here. 2 against 4 in favour of United. But Ferdinand has done well, gets it out towards Payet. Over on the far side, Payet with the shot. It was a bullet of a shot, but it was always rising. It was never going to trouble Fabian Barthez. But United cannot allow themselves to stand off Spurs in that fashion, and that's why they're 2 goals down.
That's right. I mean, it was a poor shot by Payet, but the passing and movement, Sheringham through, then causing all sorts of problems at the back for United. They just can't do anything about it. Can't wait for half time.
The rain is absolutely bucketing down now here at White Hart Lane, and that will not be pleasant at all to play in. Here's Cole in towards the edge of the box. Cole feeding his way down to the right hand side, waiting for Beckham in support. Cole goes for the cross in, the header, pushed away, almost off the line from Scholes. It slides back in again to Dennis Irwin, but he's lost control, and Anderton will play it away to the right hand side. Cushioned header from Sheringham towards Payet, away to the right again, and it draws applause from the home side as Spurs are playing much the better football so far in this half. Tarico down the right hand side just stands on the ball and waits for everybody to get forward. Spurs just happy to stroke the ball around the pitch. They're 2-0 up in the first half, and they'll be quite happy to just sit on that until we hear the half-time whistle. Away to the right-hand side. Payet goes chasing after it, up against the byline. Anderton's calling for it. He goes to the cross, over the top. That's 3-0! And Christian Ziege at the near post has put Spurs into an enormous lead. Ziege was completely unmarked. The United defence had gone AWOL for the 3rd time in the game, and Christian Ziege, former Liverpool player, has made it Spurs 3, Manchester United 0.
What a game this is now. Great ball in by Payet. At the far post, Christian Ziege, no one again picking him up. A clear header, give Fabian Barthez no chance. Game over for me at 3-0.
What on earth is going on? What on earth is going on? Manchester United's defence is non-existent.
Well, I have to agree, Fraser. Absolutely dreadful marking. Out at the far post, 6 yards out. You can't blame the keeper. He had no chance.
There is thunder and lightning flashing in the sky at White Hart Lane, and it's not just in the sky, it's on the pitch as well. And there'll certainly be plenty of it coming out the United dressing room at half-time. Gary Neville picks it up near side touchline, a long, high, hopeful ball over the top, which Darren Anderton will pick up very, very easily. Jeff Winter blows the half-time whistle, and Manchester United at 3-0 down, Mickey Thomas, are in deep, deep trouble.
I have to agree, Fraser. One of the worst performances I've seen for 45 minutes from Manchester United. It's only 3, it could have been a lot more. They haven't been a threat going forward, United, and at the back, 6s and 7s, and Fabian Barthez has conceded 3. If the game goes the same as the first half, I think there may be another 3 goals in the second half again.
Dean Richards scoring on his debut for Spurs on 14 minutes. Les Ferdinand doubling the advantage 10 minutes later, and then in stoppage time, Christian Ziege with an unmarked header to make it a half-time scoreline of Tottenham Hotspur 3, Manchester United 0.
Thank you very much indeed, Fraser. Thank you, Mickey. What an absolutely astonishing scoreline that is at White Hart Lane. Thunder and lightning above the ground, and I'm sure thunder and lightning in the Manchester United dressing room when Sir Alex Ferguson gets in there and has a word with his troops. Spurs 3, Man United 0, half-time. Right, half-time at Goodison Park. Well, it sounds a lot better for Everton than it does for United. They lead West Ham by 1-0. Here's Vinnie O'Connor.
They certainly do. After taking the lead bang on the half-time mark, it was a right-wing cross from Nicholas Alexanderson that found the head of Kevin Campbell 6 yard out, and he buried it past Shaka Hislop. And Everton have really made the majority of the running. In fact, they could have been 2 up inside 90 seconds. First when Song let the ball bounce in the box, and Hislop then smothered at the feet of Campbell. Then when Alexanderson found Radzinski in the box, his first touch was poor, but as the ball broke on the 6 yard box, Hislop again was brave to block at the feet of the Canadian. Hislop was twice tipped over from Pembridge, once from 20 yards, then a goal-bound corner, while the Blues also had penalty appeals turned down when Radzinski's shot seemed to be blocked by the arms of Song. And despite that early loss of Paul Gascoigne, Everton have reacted well, Graham Sharp.
Yeah, they certainly have. I think they probably just shaded it, Vinny. I think they passed the ball well. The movement up front is good. Nice to see Kevin Campbell. That's his 4th goal this season. You know, he's doing his job up there. They have linked well between him and Radzinski. But you know what, it's good to see Everton getting the ball down and pass it. West Ham have threatened in occasions with Di Canio and Canuti, you know, especially have looked dangerous. But if they can continue to play the football, kicking into the Gladys Street in the second half, defend properly as well. Paul Gerrard really hasn't had any cause of concern apart from the Di Canio chance. He hasn't really any saves to make. But if they can keep their concentration, raise the tempo up by maybe 10-15%, the 3 points are there for them.
You would really have expected Di Canio to score from 6 yards out, wouldn't he? And he put it wide of the far post.
Yeah, he's been in and out the game, but that was a great chance, a great piece of football from West Ham. Got down the right hand side, great ball in. Di Canio 3, 6, 7 yards out, scuffed his shot wide of the post. Apart from that, they haven't really threatened. But Everton, as I said, you know, if they raise their game 10-15%, Vinny, I think the 3 points are there for them.
But at half time it is Everton 1, West Ham 0.
Well, after 4 straight defeats, 3 points will be very welcome indeed for the Everton manager, Walter Smith, not least the bedraggled fans at the moment. Right, the Reebok, Bolton against Sunderland, no goals, Alan Myers.
And this game badly needs one, Elton. The quality in the last third of the field from either side just not good enough. Bolton have always been on top, with Phillips and Quinn ever dangerous for Peter Reid's side. Jermaine Johnson and Rod Wallace not able so far to benefit from the hard work of Dean Holdsworth, and the former Wimbledon man even on hand to clear Gray's header off the line. Paul Warhurst has been a rock at the back from the off for Bolton. Sam Allardyce had Per Franson and Michael Ricketts on the bench if he wants to change things around, and you feel things may well have to change if we're going to get a goal in this game. We've had one booking, Gavin McCann, for Sunderland, and we just had Brian Robson on the pitch doing a half-time draw. We could do with some of his craft. Bolton 0, Sunderland 0.
I think Manchester United could do with a bit of the Brian Robson graft in midfield, graft and craft, as they trail Spurs by 3-0 this afternoon. Right, but what of City? Well, a surprise scoreline to say the least, considering the way they've been rocketing them in at Main Road so far this season. No goals for Manchester City, 2 for Wimbledon. Stuart Arrowsmith, what's going on?
Yeah, things not going according to plan for either side of Manchester so far this afternoon. But you wouldn't have thought so the way that Manchester City started this afternoon. Only good goalkeeping from Wimbledon's Kelvin Davis kept Manchester City from racking up a lead of anything up to 3 goals. The thing started going wrong on 21 minutes when a Michael Hughes shot was parried by Nick Weaver, and as David Connolly came in to convert the rebound, he was brought down by Ali Benarbia. Connolly stepping up to convert the penalty himself, and then he doubled the lead a few moments later when Darlington found himself in space on the left-hand side going past Richard Dunn. His cross in the middle, and Connolly was completely unmarked inside the Manchester City penalty area, and his header went past Nicky Weaver to give Wimbledon a 2-goal lead. And Gary Owen, since then Wimbledon have even had chances to go 3 up.
Yeah, they have. David Connolly again, the far post, should have done better with the header. He didn't head over the top of the crossbar, but you know, having said that, City have dominated this game. The scoreline doesn't suggest that, but they certainly have. As you said, they could have been 3-0 up before Wimbledon got anywhere near the City goal. They've for most of the time had men behind the ball. From a free kick directly on the edge of their box, they broke, caught on a counter-attack, which Benarbia brought down Connolly for him to get up and convert for 1-0. And then for the second one, again, the City defence at 6 and 7. The ball's come in, 6 yards from goal. Connolly again, completely unmarked, headed past the helpless Nick Weaver. As I said, Connolly could have had another one to make his hat-trick, but City have dominated this game, but Wimbledon lead 2-0.
City have it all to do if they're to maintain their 100% home record at half-time. They trail Wimbledon by 2-0.
Thank you. On the optimistic side, somehow you just cannot see Manchester City being nilled at home, even though it's against the hard-working Wimbledon. Now, what about the league leaders, the First Division leaders, Burnley? Well, no goals at West Brom. I've got a sneaking feeling if it would be like that at the end of 90 minutes, they wouldn't be too displeased at all. West Brom going ever so well at the moment, scoring quite a few goals as well. But none there at the Hawthorns currently. Andy Bays.
Well, yes, half-time, Elton, in arguably the game of the day in Division 1, and it remains West Brom 0, Burnley 0. The home side, quite honestly, have dominated the opening 45 minutes and could have been 1-up in the first minute. Bob Taylor crossed from the right, and top scorer Scott Dobie saw his right-footed shot blocked by Steve Davis. The Baggies midfield 3 of Appleton, Johnson and McInnes are winning the engine room battle against Paul Cook and Kevin Ball, and Johnson and McInnes have both fired off target from 20 yards. Scott Dobie's guilty of missing missing the game's best chance when he broke clear down the right. Unselfishly, he tried to find Bod Taylor, only for Ian Cox to clear. Stan Turnet's been furiously shouting out instructions just below us, with strikers Ian Moore and Gareth Taylor bearing the brunt of their boss's anger. Taylor will have infuriated Turnant even more when a free kick was awarded against him for handball. He took his frustration out on referee Alan Wiley and was promptly booked, and the kick moved on 10 yards. Expect changes in personnel for the Clarets in the second half. At the Hawthorns at half-time, it's 0-0.
Andy, thanks very much indeed. Half-time resume on our feature games this afternoon. No goals at the Reebok. Everton leading West Ham by 1-0. How about this one? Spurs 3, Manchester United 0. And we're about to find out very shortly the last time United were 3-0 down at half-time in any match. Man City against Wimbledon, 0-2. And no goals, as we just heard from Andy, at the Hawthorns. We'll be back with a full classified check on all today's half-times in just a few moments.
Vodafone. Follow the champions with the UK's most popular network. The Premiership Live on 105.4 Century FM returns in seconds.
Why do so many people now choose Carcraft for their next car?
I got a car under 5 years old for just £25 a week. £25 a week? It's brilliant.
I walked in with £99 deposit and drove out with this great car in less than an hour.
I love the fact that they're open till 10 p.m. during the week. The salespeople are so friendly and everything's clearly priced. You can't go wrong. It's dead easy.
Carcraft of Rochdale. Over 2,000 cars in stock. Most are under 5 years old and yours from as little as £25 a week. If you're looking for your next car, you'll find it at Carcraft of Rochdale, Junction 20 of the M62. Junction 20, M62. Open till 9 p.m. tonight.
Credit example, £99 deposit, 260 weeks at £25. Total payable 6599, APR 15.3. Licensed credit broker subject to status. Alternate deals available. Ask for written details.
She sat in the restaurant and shifted nervously in her chair. His piercing eyes looked straight through her dress. She groaned softly in anticipation of the inevitable. She touched his perfect skin and nibbled him gently. He knew exactly where to go, caressing her insides, moving naturally down to her stomach. He was the best chili-crusted tuna she'd ever had. Tiger, restaurant, bars, lounge and club. 5 erogenous zones, 1 great night. tigertiger.co.uk.
Shopping. Oh, hang on. Yes! 1-0! Shopping.
Whatever you're doing, get football text alerts by calling 277, free from your Orange phone. Messages cost just 12p each.
Hi, it's David Dunn here with a call to all you England fans. On Friday the 5th of October, England under-21s take on Greece at Blackburn Rovers, Ewood Park in a crucial European under-21 Championship qualifier. Kick-off is at 7 o'clock, so come along and support the lads. It's a great opportunity to see some top international football at a great price. Tickets are just £10 for adults and £1 for concessions, so call the ticket hotline now on 01254 671 666. That's 01254 671 666.
Hi, Les here. Brian's at Co-op Late Shops. I understand there's some transfer speculation going on, Brian. Yes, thanks, Les. Just been in a press conference with the Co-op manager. He's announced that they put the Gross Lager on the transfer market. Now, from what I've seen of him in open play, he's strong. It's a massive 4-pack, and it's up for sale at a bargain price of $2.99. I reckon it'll not be long before quite a few teams are in to sign him. Back to you, Les. Thanks, Brian. Co-op Late Shops. Freshness and value with a smile. Nice.
Sven, Goran Eriksson. He's got Jimmy Severuseka, so where'd he get a lovely girlfriend? We once had a turnip, and now we've got a Swede. It's out October the 1st, so go and buy it, please. Sven, Goran Eriksson.
Yes, it's Sven, a new single by those cheeky chappies, Bell and Sperling. It's out on October the 1st.
Come on, England!
105.4 Century Soccer Saturday with Elton Wellesby and Vodafone's Footy on the Phone. All the action, all the news, home and away, direct to your Vodafone. Half-time scoreboard.
First of all, in the FA Barclaycard Premiership, Bolton 0, Sunderland 0. Charlton 1, Leicester 0, that's the latest. It kicked off at 3:15. Derby 0, Arsenal 1, Thierry Henry. Everton 1, West Ham 0, Kevin Campbell. No goals between Middlesbrough and Southampton. And Tottenham 3, Manchester United 0. The first time United have been 3-0 down at half-time since they played at Aston Villa in 1995. Bradford City 2, Grimsby 0. This is in the Nationwide League Division 1, of course. Crewe 0, Birmingham 0. Crystal Palace 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Gillingham 0, Coventry 2. Manchester City 0, Wimbledon 2. Jack Lester 2 for Nottingham Forest, against Peggy Opexed making his debut on loan for Stockport County. Rotherham 0, Wolves 2. Sheffield United 2, Norwich 0. And the games between Walsall and Millwall, West Brom and Burnley have yet to produce a goal. In Division 2, Blackpool 3, Wigan 1 is a full-time score. Kicked off at 1 o'clock. Brentford 2, Colchester 1. Cambridge 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Cardiff 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Chesterfield 0, Tranmere Rovers 1. Stuart Barlow, his 7th goal in 4 games. Huddersfield 0, Bristol City 0. Also Northampton 0, Swindon 0. Oldham 2, Notts County 0. Reading 1, Bury 0. Bury's bus broke down on the way there, and the team were taken to the ground by their own supporters. Stoke City 1, Bournemouth 0. Wrexham 0, Peterborough 0. Wickham 3, Port Vale 0. And in Division 3, Bristol Rovers 1, Oxford 1. Darlington against Ruston and Diamonds. Exeter against Macclesfield. Those games have yet to yield a goal. Hartlepool 1, Carlisle 1. Hull 1, Halifax 0. Kidderminster Harriers 0. Swansea City 2. Leyton Orient 1, Torquay 1. Lincoln 0. York City 2. Plymouth 2, Luton 1. Rochdale 1, Clyde Platt the scorer. Mansfield 0. And Scunthorpe 2, Shrewsbury 0. We'll be back with live second half commentary from White Hart Lane in just a few moments. We're going to take a break.
All this season, all you're ever going to need to catch all the Man United Premiership action, to catch every kick, every goal, is just one channel.
Still Ryan Giggs for United, still Giggs, in!
MUTV bring you the coverage from every Manchester United Premiership match, both home and away. Call 0870 848 6888 now to subscribe.
Scholes! Oh, what a great strike!
MUTV, United, full time.
Hello?
Mrs. Hardcastle, it's your Tony's boss.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he's had a bit of an accident.
An accident?
Nothing serious, so we just thought he'd best go and have a quick check-up at the hospital. Just to let you know, he probably won't be home until after 9:30 tonight.
Hang on. That's you, innit, Tommy? You've got him a ticket for the match.
The doctor reckons a couple of his favourite ales might help him in a cover quicker.
Tommy, put him on. Put him on now.
Go and maybe if you can pop on the gear, for when he gets back, he loves all that. It'll do him the world of good.
Last-minute arrangements? Call your loved ones on your Vodafone. Vodafone, bringing you closer to the team you love.
You want new windows?
I want new windows.
But you don't want hassle from salesmen.
I don't want hassle from salesmen.
You want to measure up your windows.
Measure up?
Then log on to the pvconline.co.uk website.
PVC Online?
Or free phone 0800 316 0366.
0800 316 0366.
Simply choose your windows, get a great price and arrange a fitting date.
No salesman.
No salesman.
Thank goodness for PVC Online.
You can say that again.
Kirby Central Vauxhall continues their confidence on Vauxhall Corsa deals. Get down to their showrooms today and pick a new Vauxhall Corsa Club from only $6,499, a new Vauxhall Corsa Comfort from $7,499, a Vauxhall Corsa SRI from just $9,999, a Vauxhall Corsa SXI from $8,499, with 0% finance now available on the SXI too. Subject to status. Ask for written details. Kirby Central Vauxhall, Bolton and Chorley, Vauxhall's biggest and friendliest independent Vauxhall retailer.
Hi, it's David Dunn here with a call to all you England fans. On Friday the 5th of October, England under-21s take on Greece at Blackburn Rovers, Ewood Park in a crucial European under-21 Championship qualifier. Kick-off is at 7 o'clock, so come along and support the lads. It's a great opportunity to see some top international football at a great price. Tickets are just £10 for adults and £1 for concessions, so call the ticket hotline now on 01254 671 666. That's 01254 671 666.
105.4 Century FM, the Premiership Live. Vodafone, follow the champions with the UK's most popular network.
And welcome back. We're moving very closely towards the second half at White Hart Lane. Spurs against Manchester United. There has been a second half goal to tell you about. Mike Flynn has scored for Stockport. They were 2-0 down at Nottingham Forest. Right, 2-1 there at the City Ground. Right now it's back to Fraser Dainton at White Hart Lane as United take the pitch again in the most unusual of circumstances. They find themselves with 4 goals to score if they're going to get the points there this afternoon. I say I can't remember the last time for A's that happened, but I'm reliably informed it was 1995, first day of the season at Aston Villa.
Well, United trying to plug the gaps at the back. Mikael Silvestre, I can tell you, is about to enter the fray, and it looks as if it's Dennis Owen who is being taken off the pitch. The paperwork just being handed to the 4th official. So, Mickey, what do you think to that?
Well, I think, he's going to bring on Silvestre, try and move forward down this left-hand side for pace. But he had to do something. He's made the change. Will it make United any better?
Alex Ferguson has just walked past us. As I say, the tunnel right next to the sardine tin of a press box here at White Hart Lane. And, well, if I say he has a face like thunder, I'll give you some idea of what it was like in the dressing room at half-time. Manchester United 3-0 down. And... well, perhaps they can blame it on the fact that apparently the away dressing room, we're informed, the drains were blocked, and as a result the smell apparently in United's dressing room was absolutely incredible. Very, very unpleasant. That will have put United off somewhat, but surely not to the extent that they're 3-0 down as we go into this second period of 45 minutes. Nicky Butt off in this game, of course. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come on after Butt was injured early in the first half. Silvestre, the second substitution for Manchester United, but will it work? We're underway in the second half and the ball is straight back with Neil Sullivan. Right-footed ball high into the North London air, but Les Ferdinand is adjudged to have been backing into Ronnie Johnson. And Paul Scholes wants the free kick taken quickly, and indeed it is. Finds Juan Veron, who's been out of sorts first half, it has to be said. Long ball forward from Silvestre, nodded on by Cole on towards Van Nistelrooy, away to the centre to Scholes. Scholes spreads it wide to the right-hand side towards David Beckham. Down the right towards Gary Neville, gets the cross in over the top. Cole with header! And inside the first minute of the second half, Manchester United have found a route back into this game. Andrew Cole with a diving header, justifying his selection. Alex Ferguson is up off the touchline and waving his fists at the players. And it's Spurs 3, it's the way back for Manchester United 1.
Well, they've got enough time now. A perfect start to this second half. Great build-up with Scholes, great ball down to Gary Neville, and he put over a superb cross, and Andy Cole, diving header, give the keeper Sullivan no chance. United now back in the game.
United about to be renamed Lazarus, having come back from 3 goals down. We shall see. Spurs back in possession. Blanc gets ahead to it. Ferdinand is away down the left-hand side, but he scuffed his shot, and Johnson is there at the back to reclaim it for Manchester United, but it's given away by Beckham this time. Anderton down the right-hand side. Poyet tries to wrap his foot round the ball, but he's wrapped his leg around Mikael Silvestre. And what's the referee given? Surely that should have been a United ball, but he's given it the way of Spurs.
Well, I can't believe that decision, Jeff Winter. How you can give a corner to Tottenham, I do not know. Clearly, Poyet hit it out for a goal kick, but the referee, for some reason, gave a corner.
Christian Ziege to take another corner, and again Manchester United must watch themselves very, very carefully and defend this one as the big guns, and we mean big guns, go forward. In it comes, swung in and headed straight out by David Beckham. Goes straight out for another corner, and you can just sense, Mickey, the fear in the United defenders as that corner came swinging in.
Well, you're quite right, there's some big players out there for Tottenham. Dean Richards, who obviously scored 1 goal, is definitely a threat.
Ziege again to swing it in, scorer of the 3rd goal deep in injury time in the first half. Swings it in, left-footed. Blanc heads it away, only as far as Anderton, edge of the box. Flying in behind him was Andrew Cole, and United can break now. Scholes through the centre. Cole is injured. Beckham swings it back in onto the chest of Ole Solskjaer. Scholes over the top towards Van Nistelrooy, but there at the back
Here's King to nod it straight back at him. Gary Neville picks it up now near side towards David Beckham. Beckham can't get it forward. Anderton reclaims it. Right for the ball over the top towards Ronnie Johnson. It'll go for a throw. There's been another goal at Goodison Park. Vinny O'Connor.
Bizarre second goal for Everton. Pembridge's free kick from the right-hand side, curled into the box. Hislop came down full length to get it. He seemed to let it go out of his grasp. It ricocheted off Don Hutchison and into the back of the net. Everton 2-0 up sharply.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate. It was a great delivery from Mark Pembridge, left-footed into the 6-yard box. It was only Hutchison and Hislop in there. They got into a mess, and it did come off Hutchison. It's an own goal. Welcome back, Don Hutchison.
As the header comes in as well, it's Canute. Just hits the bar at the other end. Paul Gerrard was never going to get there, but it remains Everton 2, West Ham 0.
It's all going pear-shaped for your mate Joey Jones, Mickey. Still Wrexham 0, Peterborough 1 in the second division rather, as Sullivan goes diving in there bravely because Ruud van Nistelrooy was coming at him, all studs flying. Managed to stop himself, the Dutchman, and just dive over the top of Sullivan, but Sullivan had certainly braced himself for a high impact. United regain possession. Gary Neville swings a ball inside towards Solskjaer, takes it on his chest, nods it down for Andrew Cole. He's got Silvestre in support, but he's left the ball behind momentarily. Plays it back towards Scholes. Here's Veron, edge of the centre circle, through towards Solskjaer on the edge of the box, but he's been shackled by Dean Richards. He's having an excellent debut so far. Beckham's crossing, Solskjaer's header just wide. Unlucky Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there. Great bowling by David Beckham. But this is better play by United. Every time now they go forward, they look a threat. Andy Cole, especially for me, has been very impressive.
Well, whatever Alex Ferguson said at half-time, it would certainly appear to be working so far. 3-1 at White Hart Lane. United getting back into it just seconds inside the first half through Andrew Cole. Gary Neville clearing the ball on the edge of the centre circle is Ruud van Nistelrooy. Tries to bring it down, but it's a back header from him. Goes back towards Ledley King before it's picked up by Darren Anderton. Sheringham gets a touch on it. Silvestre goes down like a ton of bricks. Poyet rolls it in towards Ferdinand, trying to line up for Anderton, but can't. As Veron came sliding in there. Here at the back is King again. Played short by Tarico. Scholes goes down under pressure from Poyet, but Silvestre finds Solskjaer, who in turn finds Darren Anderton, giving the ball away far too much from both sides. Here's Anderton back again, away to the left-hand side from Freund. Sets Richards off on a run down the left-hand side. King in towards the centre circle again. Right footed ball over the top looking for Ferdinand, but Johnson will get to it first. Only straight back towards King once more before Ziege goes flying in on the tackle on Veron. Veron loses it. Beckham goes flying in on the tackle on King. And, well, if we're going to see any sort of consistency, then Jeff Winter may as well book David Beckham for that.
No, he's not going to. David is very late there, to be truthful. But Anderton now will take this free kick in a good position for me.
It's way off to the left-hand side. It's a good 30-odd yards out. Ziege shapes to shoot, but Anderton fires it in. Fabian Barthez comes and punches it. Not in the slightest bit convincingly. The ball ricochets off Scholes and goes straight into the unmentionables of, I think it's Ziege. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on now between Van Nistelrooy, Cole, and I think it's Stefan Freund.
He's always causing problems, Stefan Freund. You know, he had to go at this Roy, and Andy Cole backing his teammate up. He's still having to go Freund. Don't like that sort of player on the park.
I think it's Freund who went in on Silvestre, and Silvestre, who's only just come on as a substitute, has gone down and is needing some treatment. So too is Christian Ziege. We'll go back to Goodison, another goal. Everton West Ham, Vinny O'Connor.
Everton 3, West Ham 0. Thomas Gravesen with a third for the Blues. A superb goal it was as well. Picked the ball up about the halfway line, just ran and ran at the West Ham retreating back line, took it on into the box, and from an angle hit it across Shaka Hislop and into the bottom corner, Graham Sharp.
Yeah, fabulous goal from Thomas Gravesen. Him and Mark Pembridge in particular bossing that midfield. Great run forward, great left-footed strike, in off the post. 3-0, surely Vin. 3 points to Everton now.
You would think so. It is Everton 3, West Ham 0.
Ziege still retrieving treatment at White Hart Lane. We'll go back up to the Reebok Stadium. Bolton versus Sunderland. Any sign of a goal, Alan Myers?
Well, we could do with a little bit of action, really. We've had 15 minutes of this second half and still no goals. And Sam Allardyce changing things around slightly just as we speak. It's Michael Ricketts coming on for Rod Wallace. And at half-time, Per Franson, the two changes I thought maybe he may make. He came on and within 3 minutes he was booked for Bolton, but we're still looking with Dean Holsworth really playing well, but the pace of Johnson and Gardner not really performing anything at this moment. We're still 0-0 though at Bolton.
Still 3-1 at Tottenham, and Ziege has eventually come back onto the field of play after lengthy treatment. Johnson knocking it upfield though, and Ledley King gets his head to it first, but only as far as Sheringham. King again in towards the edge of his own box, has to knock it forward once more, but it's picked up by Scholes. Veron through the middle to Beckham, back to Veron, who goes flat on his backside again. He's having problems with the greasy surface now at White Hart Lane. Fortunately it stops raining. Here's Cole trying to feed it through. He was brought down surely. The referee says yes, and Cole and Freund have a bit of afters yet again, and that one really starting to bubble up between those two players. And are we going to see more players sent off as we did a couple of weeks ago against Newcastle, Mickey?
But Stefan Freud, you know, he's causing all the problems. Andy Cole clearly fouled, and he's got the free kick in a good position for United. But Stefan Freud, he's one of those players that causes all problems for the opposition.
A wind-up merchant, I think, is the best way of putting it, Mick.
Exactly, Fraser.
But this is most definitely David Beckham territory. It's just slightly to the right of centre as Beckham looks at it. It's about 30 yards out. Beckham certainly lining it up. Jeff Winter just getting in the way. Here comes Beckham, strikes it, right footed. Oh, just wide over the top of the bar. And Beckham turns and takes a sharp intake of breath as if to say, ooh.
It looked a goal, Fraser, from here. A wonderful free kick. Sullivan well beaten in the Tottenham goal.
Sullivan it will be to take it. Beckham, the top scorer for Manchester United so far this season, with 4. That's including his goal against Lille in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. Let's hope he can reproduce that kind of form for England against Greece on Saturday. This time next week, a game you can hear full live match commentary on here on Century FM. The ball in the box in the penalty area of Tottenham. Sullivan coming out and chasing it on the edge of his 6-yard box. Screams at his defenders that that one is mine, thank you very much. And will knock it high into the air. Ferdinand tries to bring it down, but only finds Veron. Away to the right-hand side, Gary Neville chasing forward now for Manchester United, in towards the halfway line, plays a high ball in through to the centre, off the chest of Tarico, tries to knock it forward in the path of Sheringham, but Silvestre picks it up near side now, having to go backwards for a moment, but spins himself round and finds Veron through central midfield, back in towards Solskjaer on the edge of the centre circle. Now Van Nistelrooy finds Veron content to keep going backwards and backwards before Scholes picks it up now. Here's Gary Neville on the right-hand side. Beckham to his right. Scholes again. Back out towards Gary Neville. Trying to get through. Gets a cross in towards the far post, but there was nobody there. It was too long for Van Nistelrooy, but the keeper let it go, and it whistled across both of his posts.
Yeah, great play. About 10 passes there within United's play. For me, Gary Neville's been down that right-hand side. He's already put a great cross in for the goal. That was just a little bit too high.
Elsewhere in the Premiership, Bolton 0, Sunderland 0, as you heard from Alan a few moments ago. Charlton 1, Leicester 0. Derby 0, Arsenal 2 now. Thierry Henry with his second of the game. And Martin Keown has been sent off, I understand. Everton 3-0 up as Gary Neville in towards the edge of the penalty area. Low shot in, it comes off Richards, it will go for a corner. Middlesbrough 0, Southampton 0. And here at White Hart Lane, Spurs 3, Manchester United 1. But United with a chance to try and get back into this game now. It's a corner on the far side. David Beckham will take it, swings it in, right-footed towards the penalty spot. Blanc goes in for the header, the hands are up, they're shouting for a corner, and the referee, sure enough, has given it the way of United.
Yeah, right decision by the referee, good ball in by David Beckham, but this second half, United are the better team.
It's not often you've heard us say that this afternoon. Right decision by the referee. Jeff Winter, well, he's got his name in the headlines again. Here comes Beckham, swings it in towards the edge of the box. Blanc with a header! Laurent Blanc gets his first goal for Manchester United, and what a time to get it. United are right back in the game. The Frenchman rose beautifully and nodded in from close range from David Beckham's corner. United are back in the game. Oh, what a match here at White Hart Lane. Spurs 3, United 2.
You're right, Fraser, what a match we got on our hands now. A great ball by David Beckham. Laurent Blanc, no one picked him up at the far post. A bullet header. United now, can they go on and win this game?
Just over, 16 minutes gone, 13 minutes gone rather in the second half, and United are back in it, but there's been a penalty up at the Reebok. Bolton versus Sunderland, Alan Myers.
Well, all sorts of controversy here, because Thomas Sorensen it was who brought down Ricardo Gardner for the penalty. Per Fransen took it, and Sorensen, who really, you could argue, should have been off the pitch, saved the penalty from Fransen, and Sunderland are still on level terms. 0-0 still.
Chesterfield 0, Tranmere 2. Senny and Day the scorer, and Oldham 2, Notts County 1. Mark Stallard, the veteran, getting the goal there. United coming forward again, down the right-hand side. Here's Gary Neville. Lays it off towards David Beckham. Beckham's first time cross, over the top, too far for Scholes. Might come back to Solskjaer, but it's knocked straight back out. Silvestre brings it down with another cushioned header. Here's Veron. Veron over the top, too far, and straight into the hands of Neil Sullivan. There's been a goal at West Brom versus Burnley. Andy Bays.
And it's gone the way of the play. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Burnley 0. A Neil Clement free kick was headed in by Scott Dobie. It's his 7th goal of the season in the league. It's West Brom 1, Burnley 0.
Spurs have a player down. A harsh tackle there. I think it might have been Andrew Cole that went into it. Alex Ferguson is up off the bench and he's screaming at Glenn Hoddle's assistant. There is all sorts of screaming going on. The ball's gone out on the far side of play. The trainers are coming on. I can't quite see who it is who's gone down, because there's an official standing right in front of us. But Cole has come over now to have a word with the Spurs player. I think it might be Tariko.
Yes,
but Fergie having a few words with Andrew Cole. I don't know what he's saying, but it's certainly not language we could broadcast on air.
He's having a go at the assistant manager John Gorman at Tottenham, Alex Ferguson. He's not happy. He's trying to get Cole booked. But, you know, as this come at a bad time, United in full flow with this injury to Siako might slow United down.
Alex Ferguson has called Ruud van Nistelrooy across, having a few words. Jimmy Ryan having a few words as well. And it is Tariko. And you're right, it is John Gorman. He only had his back to me, but he turns around, you see that enormous tash of his. There's no mistaking him, really, is there?
No, but you know, United for the second half, I don't know what was said at half-time. Complete change around. United controlling this game. 2 excellent goals so far. If they keep on playing like this, I'm sure they can get this equaliser and maybe go on to win it.
Well, it's certainly seemed that way when United played Newcastle a couple of weeks ago in that epic 4-3 thriller. We're having something pretty similar here at White Hart Lane. 3-2 it is. Tariko is being taken off the pitch and just limping. Looks like it's his right knee, Mickey, I think.
Well, that's right. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, he got away with the yellow card in the first half, and he's done a few bad challenges. And he got caught.
It's a question of what goes round comes round, I suppose.
I was just going to say that.
Sorry, mate, just jumped in on me there.
But, you know, United keep playing the way they do in the pass and the movement. It's been fantastic.
Back with Sullivan in the Spurs goal. 3-2 to Spurs at White Hart Lane. United getting back into it thanks to 2 second-half goals from Andrew Cole and Laurent Blanc.
What did you say about Andy Cole, Fraser? What a game he's had. He's looked impressive, very sharp, and he got his reward with the goal. For me, he's been out the side. He's showing to Sir Alex Ferguson now, put me in on a regular basis.
And that certainly won't have gone unnoticed by Sven-Göran Eriksson, who is sitting in the stand behind us. Will be finalising his squad over the weekend for the crucial World Cup qualifier against Greece at Old Trafford next week. A game you can hear full match commentary on here on Century FM. There's been a goal at the Riverside Stadium. Borough 0, Southampton 1. James Beattie scoring for Southampton after he scored hatfuls last season. Long high ball over the top for United. Solskjaer goes to chase for it, but it's much too far. United very much more in a rhythm of play now, Mickey.
That's right, and Mikel Silvestre down this left-hand side since he's come on. You know, United look good going down here. I mean, Solskjaer as well, he's always going to be a threat. And the 2 strikers working well together.
Never been a happy hunting ground, this, for Manchester United in recent seasons. Tottenham have won 4 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 sides in all competitions, including the last 2. In fact, United haven't won here since August 1997, would you believe? And a stat that we came up with earlier on, United haven't been 3-0 down at half-time since 1995. Well, it was opening day of the season at Aston Villa, we understand. Blanc at the back on the score sheet for Manchester United this afternoon. Long ball from Veron. Too far. Silvestre lets it go. And perhaps it's time that Juan Veron was given a rest, Mickey?
Well, his performance so far, I mean, I think he's one of the best players I've seen for a long time, but this afternoon, his passes, not the same.
Tariko tries to force himself a throw-in by playing it straight at Solskjaer, but Scholes has returned the ball to Solskjaer down the left-hand side now, up against the byline, gets a cross in across the back of everybody. Van Nistelrooy was there, Cole was there, they were lining up for it, but he just pulled it too far forward.
Unlucky by Solskjaer, that actually. Great run, great ball by Scholes to him, just overhit the cross.
Beckham chasing after it, but Anderton picks it up on the edge of the centre circle, down the left for Spurs. Long ball forward in towards the edge of the box, into the hands of Bartes. Let's go back to Main Road. Manchester City versus Wimbledon. An update from Stuart Arrowsmith.
Yep, still no better for Manchester City. They still trail Birmingham by 2-0. We've had chances though in this second half. Steve Howe flashing a header just past the post in the past Kelvin Davis's right-hand post, but Kevin Keegan's thrown on 3 substitutes: Alan Toure, Simon Colosimo and Kevin Horlock to try and change things, but the man on the ball, Alan Benabia, really hasn't got into the game as he tries to feed Huckabee on the right-hand side. And Gary, they're really not looking like the Manchester City we know and love so far.
Not at all, but just go to there with a header, flashes past the post. No, in fact they look very heavy-legged this afternoon since that second goal went in, and really, surprisingly, it's not the Manchester City that we've seen at home this season.
They still trail Wimbledon by 2-0.
Here at White Hart Lane, still Spurs 3, Manchester United 2. And you know when you come up with a statistic and you think that's a great start, that is, and then somebody comes along and says, well no, actually you're wrong. It's happened again. Southampton away, April 1996, I'm told. Now,
you make a mistake.
United went 3-0 down. Well, there's been plenty of mistakes made by either side this afternoon, Nicky, so I think it's only fair that we get one in.
Yeah, it's been a good footballing game, to be truthful. I think United now, it's their second half. Can they go on and get this equaliser?
Juan Veron, right-footed. That'll be a long ball. Too far for David Beckham. Juan Veron doesn't look a shadow of the player that he normally is this afternoon, Nicky, it has to be said.
Maybe the smell in the dressing room affected me more than anyone.
Yeah. Hate to have been in there this afternoon, wouldn't you?
Well, at half-time, but it's certainly worked so far.
Elsewhere in the Premiership, Bolton 0, Sunderland 0, Charlton 1, Leicester 0, Derby 0, Arsenal 2, Everton 3, West Ham 0, and Middlesbrough 0, Southampton 1. Long ball forward, which Jonsson will nod back into the hands of Fabian Barthez, with Les Ferdinand just bearing down on him. Ferdinand on the score sheet this afternoon for Spurs, along with Richards and Ziege, as Andrew Cole tries to get himself forward. Sliding in just behind him though is Chris Perry, forces the throw near side touchline. Ollie Solskjaer will take it. Sylvester just moving in front of him, so too is Cole, but he goes for Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy shoved over from behind, loses possession. Anderton picks it up, under pressure from Solskjaer. It's back with Veron on the edge of the centre circle. Blanc with his socks round his ankles as usual, plays it away to the right hand side. Too far for Gary Neville, but Beckham picks it up and rolls it back in towards Neville again. Back out towards Veron, square ball to Scholes, back to Veron again. United just keeping possession for the moment. Back towards Beckham again, on the edge of the centre circle, flicks it through, Solskjaer nods it back towards Cole, Cole back in towards Beckham, Beckham edge of the box with a shot, takes a deflection, and it's a good job for Spurs that it did, because that was heading goalwards.
What a great effort from David Beckham. I'm sure it would have been a goal only for the deflection. He's got a corner, more pressure from United.
United have the corner near side. David Beckham will take it, and as soon as the ball came out the stand, he was scampering straight back to take this one. Swung to the far post. Whoa! Blanc with the header again. Or it may well have been Jonsson that got the last touch on it, but it was just wide of the post.
Yeah, great balling again by David, but Ronnie Jonsson at the far post should have put the ball in the back of net. Big chance for Ronnie.
Neil Sullivan breathes another sigh of relief as he just squirmed away to his left-hand side. Another goal at the Riverside. Borough 0, Southampton 2. Marion Pahar's the scorer for the Saints. Not a bad season for them. Sheringham is impeded as he tried to go forward there against Jonsson. But the free kick, yet again, has been given the way of Manchester United. It looked clear to me then as Sheringham had been impeded, but never mind. Perhaps things are starting to even themselves out. Beckham down the right now for Manchester United, cuts inside, Beckham left-footed shot into the hands of Neil Sullivan, but United now showing more promise of attack, Mickey.
Yeah, that's right, causing all sorts of problems for Tottenham. A great effort from David Beckham with his left foot, not his favourite one.
Now there's a sliding tackle gone in there on Ferdinand. It's Ledley King who's gone down in actual fact.
Well, he's booking him.
Veron, the man guilty of doing it. And has he booked him there?
Well, he went to, he changed his mind.
He certainly reached for his pocket for a second, Jeff Winter. The Spurs fans not happy with the decision, and I think Veron may well have got away with it. Blanc goes up for the defensive header. Solskjaer nods it forward, finds Cole. Back through towards Van Nistelrooy, that's spread away by Cole. And Tarico will pick it up for Spurs. Played inside towards Anderton. Put under pressure there, Chris Perry, but Sheringham could be through here. Played away to the left-hand side, brought inside towards Seeger, takes a shot, it takes a deflection and comes back out of him. Blaise Ferdinand goes sliding in, but Beckham comes away with it through the centre. He's shoved over, surely that's a free kick this time. Beckham screams at the referee, and what's going to happen here? Beckham is being told to come over and have a word with the referee, so is Stefan Freund. Now what is going to happen this time? Freund has been brought over, Blanc's gone over as well. I think it's going to go the way of United. Poyet is the only man in the book for Spurs so far this afternoon. Ehrman was booked, but he's gone off. Butt's been booked, but he's gone off too. Now then, what's the referee going to give? It looks as though it's going to be David Beckham who goes into the book, and yes, indeed, that's the case.
Well, if he gives a yellow card to David Beckham, he should give the free kick to Tottenham, but Stefan Freund again instigates it. He's causing all the problems.
It must have been for retaliation, but there's going to goal at the Reebok. Bolton versus Sunderland. Alan Myers.
Yes, and it's bad news, I'm afraid, for Bolton, because Sunderland have gone one up, and it's that man Kevin Phillips who scored. It was a corner on the right-hand side as Sunderland attacked. It was Julio Arco's corner, headed into the area by Gavin McCann, and there was Phillips, the Predator, to push it past Jääskeläinen. 1-0 to Sunderland.
Very quiet to start to Kevin Phillips' season for Sunderland so far. Alan Boksic has got one back from Middlesbrough at the Riverside. It's now Middlesbrough 1, Southampton 2. As Spurs try to bring it forward again, Les Ferdinand knocks it straight behind him. There's no one there, and right in front of us, Glenn Hoddle puts his two hands in front of him, makes the sign as if to say, well, you're not talking to each other. Waves his hands around like two little puppets, and he was quite right. Ledley King has got himself a free kick. David Beckham up against him, almost on the edge of the Spurs box. Now Glenn Hoddle, if United were to get anything out of this game now, Mickey, would be absolutely kicking himself, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we'd be very disappointed, but you have to give credit to United for the second half. You know, very critical first half. You had to be three goals against, but you know, they showed great character. So hopefully now they can get back in. Obviously, I want the equaliser.
They're going goal crazy at Goodison Park. Everton, West Ham, Vinny O'Connor.
Steve Watson on the score sheet for Everton. Lovely move down the far side. Campbell played in Watson to the byline. He skipped past the challenge before laying it into Naismith. Hislop went down. Naismith managed to give it back to Watson, who then slotted it into the near post area. Hislop beating all ends up. 4-0 to Everton, sharply.
Yeah, good to see Steve Watson on the score sheet, but I must say, Vinny, shambolic West Ham defending, allowing them down the right hand side, but they're not complaining. 4-0, game over.
Everton 4, West Ham 0. 3 points to Goodison, surely.
3-3 at White Hart Lane. 3-3 from 3-0 down. Can you believe it? Sylvester near side touchline, got a cross in, and Ruud van Nistelrooy poked it in with his head. They can't believe it. They've risen from the dead. Manchester United are back in the game. Oh my word, it's Spurs 3, United 3.
What a goal, a great build-up. Silvestri down this left-hand side, put a perfect cross into the box, and there was Nistelrooy unmarked on his own. A great header. United now level. Can they win this?
Oh, 18 minutes or thereabouts to go as Cole just loses it near side touchline. Charlton 2, Leicester City 0. Sean Bartlett the scorer for Charlton. Peter Taylor's head on the block, no doubt. Solskjaer gets a header, but it's knocked straight back. Are we going to see another dramatic twist in this game as Ferdinand comes forward for Tottenham, plays it through towards Anderton but can't get there, and Veron is the man to do the defending. Solskjaer breaks away with it now for Manchester United. Near side touchline, back in towards Beckham. Short ball to the edge of the centre circle towards Paul Scholes. Scholes feeding it through towards Van Nistelrooy. Tries to get a cross in, it comes back to him. Back out towards Neville. Neville's low cross is knocked straight back out by Ledley King. Has that gone for a corner? I think it has.
Yeah, all United now playing great football, playing with great confidence as well. The passing, as I said, and the movement has been excellent. Tottenham now in dire trouble.
Well, you have to say, this Manchester United side has nothing if not bucket loads of spirit. Beckham's cross in, over the top of Blanc. Ferdinand is in trouble, but he's managed to clear it and shouts for, well, I don't know what, perhaps a penalty there, as King and Blanc went down in a great big huddle between the pair of them. But United regain possession. Veron, edge of the box, right-footed, straight into the bread basket of Neil Sullivan, and it knocked him back about 3 yards.
Oh, tremendous power from Veron there. 35 yards out, he let go. Thankfully for Sullivan, it was straight at him.
Glenn Hoddle is standing in front of us, right on the edge of the centre line. Goodness knows what must be going through his mind. 3-0 up and pulled back to 3-3. Beckham's cross in, over the top, Cole with the header, it hits the post, but there's a flag on the far side. One of either Solskjaer or Cole was offside, but my words, what on earth is going on?
I can't believe it. United completely in control now. A great ball. Was he offside? The assistant linesman thought so.
Another goal at Goodison Park. Everton West Ham. Vinny O'Connor.
Thomas Radzinski gets his first Premiership goal for Everton. It was Pembridge who slotted the ball through. He got a lucky break off a West Ham defender, took it into the box, skipped past Hislop, and from the tightest of angles, put it into the empty net.
Yeah, no more than he deserved. Vinny, he's worked extremely hard up there. You know, good finish at a difficult angle. Put it into the empty net. 5-0. What a good result.
Wrexham 1, Peterborough 1, latest in the second division. Craig Falconbury and Paul Wheatcroft on loan from Bolton at Rochdale has made it 3-0 against Mansfield in the third division. Here at White Hart Lane, 3-3. Yes, 3-3. It may well have been 3-0 to Spurs at half-time, but forget about that. It's even Stevens as we go into the last 16 minutes of this game on 105.4 Century FM Soccer Saturday in association with Vodafone. Follow the champions on the UK's most popular network. Here's Beckham on the edge of his own penalty area. Finds Gary Neville. Plays it back towards Fabian Barthez. Left-footed, stabs the ball high in the air. That will take a long time to come down. And as it does, Ledley King nods it back out towards the far side. Quickly to the Reebok. Bolton, Sunderland, Alan Myers.
Yes, and the meal will be paid for by Sam Allardyce tonight because they're 2 goals down now. It was Arca's free kick in towards Jody Craddock with a header past Jaskalainen. The 3 points going to Wearside.
Played in at the far side by Beckham towards Silvestre. Near side and towards the edge of the box finds Scholes. Scholes in towards Veron. Veron concealing here. Oh my word! Juan Sebastian Veron! 3-0 down and now they're 4-3 in front. Is there no end to the drama at White Hart Lane? And Manchester United have come back from the dead. And Juan Sebastian Veron, who was having an absolute stinker up until now, has turned it past Neil Sullivan, and United are in front. I can't believe what I'm saying. It's 3 to Spurs, but it's 4, yes 4 to Manchester United. What a game!
And what a turnaround in this game. This second half has been excellent for United. This goal was pure class for me. Great ball into Nistelrooy. Nistelrooy waited for Iran to make his run. He picked him out and with his left foot beat Sullivan. And United now, I can't believe it. Is there more goals to come? The way they're playing, it suggests there will be.
Somebody pass the Valium. Scholes in possession for Manchester United. And we've still got 14 minutes yet to play. Can you handle it? Can you handle it? Stay close on the edge of your seat. It will all unfold here on Century FM. Let's quickly nip to Main Road. Another goal there. Stuart Arrowsmith.
It goes from bad to worse from Manchester City. They're now 3 goals down to Wimbledon. But you have to say what a tremendous strike it was as well, as Neil Shipley had his back to goal. As we break off, Benabia just takes a free kick. It's tipped wide. There might be a chance on there for Manchester City. It goes out on the far side for a corner. But yes, Neil Shipley had his back to goal, 25 yards from Nicky Weaver's goal. He turned away and with the right foot curled one right-footed. And Gary Owen, it was a great goal, but 3 goals down and the fans are going away in the droves from Main Road now.
Yeah, they are. It's been disappointing since they got the first 2 goals, Wimbledon, against the run of play, and in the second half it's been all City pushing forward. They've been looking to catch on the break. Shipley's come on as a substitute. He's already got 4. That's his 5th. There's no stopping it. 25 yards, bent round Nicky Weaver, and 3-0. Bad day at the office. Sooner this game finishes, the better.
That 100% home record hangs by a thread. It's Manchester City 0, Wimbledon 3.
Wrexham 1, Peterborough 2. Mackenzie the scorer for Peterborough. United lose possession again. It's over on the far side. Jeff Winter gives a free kick to Spurs as Van Nistelrooy just trudges past it, happy to just slow things down at the moment. I mean, 4-3. I don't think I've seen a game like this, Mickey, for a long... I mean, we thought Newcastle was good, but this is just unbelievable.
It's a fantastic game. You know, Sir Alex Ferguson's been quoted saying, you score 3, we'll score 4, and this afternoon I didn't think it was on at half-time.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. United coming forward again. Scholes. Oh, he's just taken off him by Perry. Solskjaer gets his feet flying in, so does Cole, but picked up again by Anderson. Over the top, looking for Ferdinand, trying to nod it down in the direction of Sheringham, but it took a deflection. And lucky that it did, as Silvestre, left-footed, knocks it forward. Solskjaer goes in for the header, but picked up again a long-range shot from Ziege, but high, wide, and not so handsome.
Yeah, top row of the stand, that one's gone from Ziege. You know, United, you say about the half-time, I thought it was game over, you have to be honest, at 3-0. But whatever was said at half-time, Fraser, it certainly worked, and the performance is one of the best I've seen.
I would love to know what Alex Ferguson put in the tea at half-time. Philip Neville is warming up near side. Alex Ferguson perhaps wanting to throw in another defender and just shut up shop and take 3 points away after being 3-0 down. Quite the most incredible turnaround as Van Nistelrooy goes chasing back after it again. Sullivan hoists it back upfield. It will come straight back towards Silvestre. Solskjaer as well to keep it in play and finds Silvestre again on the near side. That takes a deflection off the arm of Darren Anderson, but it's gone for a throw. Alex Ferguson up out on the edge of the technical area again, screaming instructions at Silvestre. Get it forward, says the Scotsman. But he goes backwards instead. And Fergie, well, I can't tell you what he said there, but he wasn't happy as Barthez knocks it forward this time. Route 1 for United as it's picked up at the back by Tarico. Boots on the other foot, Maurizio now, isn't it?
That's right.
He can wind them up as much as he possibly can, but it's only gone to spur United into getting past Spurs. Here's Scholes through the centre, in towards the edge of the penalty area. Paul Scholes through towards Andrew Cole. Oh, the flag's up on the far side. Cole was itching to make it 5, and Alex Ferguson goes back into the dugout, throws his arms in the air, and with 10 minutes left to go, they're hanging on to the most slender of leads.
Well, what a good move that was, Fraser. Lucky for Tottenham, Cammy goal was offside, but you know, when he said the ball forward, I can see why they look at threat every time.
Ball high in the air from Sullivan, nodded straight back. Cole tries to get in front of Perry and does well. Goes flat on his backside under the challenge, but he's managed to find Beckham over on the far side. Beckham brings it in, right-footed, side-footed towards Solskjaer. Short ball in towards Neville, high over the top looking for Van Nistelrooy, but just in front of him, waiting and waiting, was Tarico, who's been his shadow in the second half. Hasn't done him any good though. Ball high in the air again. Sheringham tries to bring it down, but Blanc shadowing him this time. Here's Johnson, defensive header, nods it straight back towards Beckham as he was heading goalwards at a rapid pace of knots. Van Nistelrooy does well, controls it in towards the edge of the box. Solskjaer in support. Van Nistelrooy going for it. Oh, towards Solskjaer again. Tries to get a cross in. Van Nistelrooy. It's pushed away by Sullivan, and it'll go for a throw on the far side unless Beckham can keep it in. And he can, or has he? No, the flag's gone up.
Well, it
has
on.
stayed down. Referee says play on. Played in shortly. 6s and 7s. Beckham tries to get it in. Oh, cross over the bar. Solskjaer went flying in. He shouts for a penalty. He appeals for a handball against Richards. But what drama! What drama, and what on earth is the referee doing?
Well, what's Tottenham's defence doing as well, because they were asleep. Incredible how
the flag went up, Mickey.
It did go up.
The flag went up.
But the referee, Steph Winter, it was quite strange at times for me. Let play go on, and Tottenham, Glenn Hoddle down below is going mad.
Glenn Hoddle must. Oh, I can't even think what must be going through his mind. He played. Manchester United were playing against 12 men in the first half. It has to be said. 11 for Spurs and the referee. But now the tables have completely turned, and all of a sudden Jeff Winter seems to be favouring Manchester United. We talk about luck evening itself out. But United have had more than a hefty slice this afternoon. Ferdinand in towards the edge of the box. Sheringham plays it back out, near side touchline, edge of the box towards Anderton. Gets a crossing, goes for the far post. Well, was it a cross or was it a shot? Only Darren Anderton will know. And Spurs are about to bring on Sergei Rebrov.
Well, we need to bring him on. They need to get this equaliser, but I cannot see it. I think United now are in complete control, Fraser. Incredible performance. And for me, Mikel Silvestri came on for Dennis Irwin, has had an excellent second half. He looked very good going down this left-hand side.
Darren Anderton, the man going off, who's been one of Spurs' most influential players this afternoon for my money, being replaced by the Ukrainian Sergei Rebrov, the club's record signing at £11 million. And, well, he's been thrown into the mixer. Let's see whether he can supply the final twist in the tail of this monumental game of football, as Fabian Barthez knocks it a long, long way forward. It comes off the head of Ledley King, and Solskjaer will just shepherd it out for a United throw. Silvestre in support, but Solskjaer decides to just hand it back towards Silvestre and towards the edge of the box. Finds Van Nistelrooy, rolls it into the path of Veron. Veron through back towards Solskjaer. Solskjaer edge of the box, through the back, too far for Andrew Cole to try and pick up, and it will be away to the left-hand side towards Gus Poyet. Rolling it through now, Ziege in towards the edge of the box. Sheringham over the top, trying to find Ferdinand, but Silvestre was the first man there. Quickly back to the Hawthorns. West Brom versus Burnley. Any update, Andy Bays?
Well, there's certainly not as much excitement as there is at White Hart Lane, Fraser. It's still West Bromwich Albion 1, Burnley 0. The sign for 5 more minutes was just held up a moment or two ago. Burnley not really getting back into it. They've made 3 substitutions. Mullin, Payton and Ellis are all on, but they're still looking for that equaliser. It's 1-0 to West Brom.
Rebrov with a cross in towards the edge of the box, but dealt with well by United. Veron under a bit of pressure from Rebrov, and he goes down and he was pushed over, says the referee, but it looked to me like he stumbled there, Mickey. And Veron very lucky to get away with that.
Very lucky indeed. He lost the ball and fell over, and Jeff Winter fell for it and give a free kick to United.
Pause for breath.
But we had the Newcastle game, didn't we? That was incredible. This is even better.
Lordy Lord, as Barthez gets it a long, long way forward. Cole went in for the header, but it's into the hands of Neil Sullivan. Elsewhere in the Premiership, Bolton 0, Sunderland 2, Charlton 2, Leicester 0, Derby 0, Arsenal 2, Everton 5, West Ham 0, Middlesbrough 1, Southampton 2, and here at White Hart Lane, after Manchester United were 3-0 down, they now lead by 4 goals to 3. 08 740 1054. Give us a call, get your calls in now, and tell the legends what you think of your game this afternoon. And I think the switchboard will be jammed. Here's Van Nistelrooy, away to the right-hand side, finds Beckham. Beckham's crossing is a deep one. It's far too deep for anybody, and it will go straight out for a throw on this near side touchline.
Yeah, not the best of ball by David Beckham. It's deep in the Tottenham area.
4.5 minutes left. Rebrov picks it up from the throat. Silvestre comes from behind and mugs him. Van Nistelrooy, well, he looked to have kept it in play, but the near side touch linesman has raised his flag pretty quickly. Van Nistelrooy throws it back towards Tarico. Tarico will take it and elects to go safe and throw straight back to his keeper. Sullivan right-footed over the top, tries to find Laurent Blanc, the man who was picking it up for United. Forward in towards Cole, and Cole almost fed it through. Finds Solskjaer near side touchline in towards the edge of the box, getting a crossover towards the far side. Beckham's in acres of space. Beckham! Oh my word! David Beckham scores for Manchester United, and surely now, from 3-0 down, that is game, set and match, and David Beckham, captain for the day, smashes it right-footed. Neil Sullivan can't believe it, throws his fist at the floor. It's Spurs 3, Manchester United 5.
We say that's the best goal, Fraser, of the game. A great bit of skill by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, took on the Tottenham defence, went round and put a ball back to David Beckham, 18 yards out, on his favourite right foot. He smashed it in the back of the net. United now, the points are going back to Manchester.
David Beckham goes across to Gary Neville and gives him a great big hug. Nobody more happier in the ground than David Beckham. There's been another goal at Main Road. Stuart Harris-Smith.
And the last action of the game sees Wimbledon wrap up a 4-0 victory here at Main Road, and a second of the afternoon 4-0 Shipley. It was Kevin Cooper who found himself in space on the left edge of the penalty area. He found the sub David Nielsen. He played a square ball, and Neil Shipley had all the time in the world to slot past Nick Weaver. It finished here. That was the final action of the game. It's Manchester City 0, Wimbledon 4.
It looked like the great escape. It looked like mission impossible, but Manchester United are 3 minutes away from one of the most memorable victories that I have ever seen, and I think probably the same goes for you, Mickey T.
One of the best performances from a team for 45 minutes I've ever seen.
Certainly second half.
Incredible second half.
Rebrov has fouled Gary Neville. Everton have won 5-0, Bolton have lost 2-0. Manchester City look like they're going to be losing. It's 4-0 to Wimbledon. That one has now finished. That's a result. Here at White Hart Lane, we've got about 2 minutes left, and the scoreline just defies belief. Spurs 3, Manchester United 5. 08700 40 1054. Give us a call now. Talk to Elton, talk to Mickey, talk to Sharpie, talk to Gary, and tell us exactly what you thought of today's games. This is absolutely incredible. Burnley have gone down 1-0 at West Bromwich Albion. The league leaders held by 1-0 this afternoon. So Manchester United and Everton getting the best of the day's play, as a foul's gone in there, and it's Sergei Rebrov. There are large portions of blue seats starting to appear in the White Hart Lane Stadium, and I needn't really tell you that it's the Spurs fans who are leaving in droves, as Ziege tries to get a low cross in. This will run straight into the hands of Fabian Barthez. We're into the last minute. Bolton 0, Sunderland 2, Charlton 2, Leicester 0, Derby 0, Arsenal 2, Everton 5, West Ham 0, that's a result. Middlesbrough 1, Southampton 2. The rest from the Premiership, as Barthez right-footed, high ball into the air. Van Nistelrooy brings it down. There's been a whistle blown there. Van Nistelrooy was adjudged to have been pushed rather, and Manchester United have a free kick, which Paul Scholes thinks about taking quickly, but David Beckham calls him over and says, no, hang on a second, let's be having this one. Fourth official just coming out. 3 minutes of time to be added on for stoppages. Wan Baron lining this one up, I think. David Beckham standing over it. It's a long way out. It's a good 35 yards, but he'll have a crack. Why not? Here comes Veron, which plays it short. Left-hand side towards Paul Scholes. Scholes through towards Cole. On the edge of the box, up against the byline. Trying to get a cross in, but he's been held up on this near side. Back out towards Veron. To Cole again. Veron back towards Cole from the back heel, lining it up for Scholes. Scholes in acres of space. Scholes with a shot straight against the defender. Silvestre plays it out wide to the right-hand side, and Gary Neville is shoved off the ball. Silvestre tries to bring it down again, but it's at the back with Stefan Freund. And just listen to the chant of champions, champions from the Manchester United faithful away to our right-hand side. I certainly wouldn't have been singing anything like that at half-time. This has been a comeback, the likes of which we have not seen for a long time. And forgive me if I use the religious term and say it literally is like Lazarus, back from the dead.
But the champions are singing there quite rightly so, because champions don't obviously get beat 3-0 at half-time and come back and win 5-3. Incredible performance. I've never seen anything like it.
Christian Ziege will take this Spurs free kick. It's in a pretty decent position, but quite a long way out. Ziege strikes it left-footed, tries to bring it in. Sheringham brings it down. It looks as if he was offside to me, but the referee said play on. It's cleared upfield. Cole will go chasing after it. Here's Perry. Frund brings it through in towards King. King with a short ball back in towards Ziege, almost on the edge of the box, trying to play it through. A left-footed ball came flying in there from Poyet, but straight against Laurent Blanc. And Scholes will pick it up again for Manchester United. It bounces off the chest of Silvestre. Tarico will pick it up near side touchline. Sheringham away to his left, but he goes for the cross over the top towards Ferdinand. Blanc gets in front of him. It's on a decent second half, Laurent Blanc, scoring the second goal for Manchester United. Silvestre has That's surely got to be a yellow card for Stefan Freund.
Well, please, because he deserves
must be.
I'm sorry to say that, but he deserves it. He's been doing it all afternoon. He caught Sylvester very, very late there.
He caught him late, and with both sets of studs, and Sylvester went flying up in the air, landed heavily on his side, and Sylvester gingerly gets to his feet. Stefan Freund is duly put in the book. Jeff Winter blows his whistle. Veron takes the free kick on the edge of the centre circle, finds Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back out towards Veron. United just happy to keep possession and wait for time to tick by as Paul Scholes is fouled from behind by Chris Perry, and that will be yet another yellow card by the looks of things. So he's reached his target.
Yes, he deserved that as well. Chris Perry very late on Paul Scholes, and Jeff Winter doesn't disappoint us, does he?
Average of just over 5 cards per game, and that is his 6th of the afternoon. That will make it now a total of 25 yellow cards and 2 reds from 5 games. So at least he's consistent in that sense. 08700 40 1054, the number to call if you've got a view on any of today's games, and talk with the legends on the full-time phone-in. Referee Jeff Winter blows the whistle on what has been an absolutely monumental game of football, as Maurizio Taricco is surrounded by 3 United players, Solskjaer, Beckham and Van Nistelrooy, wanting to have a word with him, not happy with his antics this afternoon. They're ushered away, and Jeff Winter just restores order for a second or two. The rest of the players go off to shake hands. Well, where do we begin? It started on 14 minutes. Dean Richards on his debut with a header from a Ziege corner to put Spurs 1-0 in front. Les Ferdinand then with a strike from the edge of the box 10 minutes later, before Poyet's cross found Christian Ziege unmarked at the back stick to make it 3-0 to Spurs as we went into the second half. Then the most amazing comeback football has possibly seen since Manchester City against Gillingham in the second division playoff final a few years ago, and they looked dead and buried. United came back a minute into the second half. Neville's cross found a Cole header. Laurent Blanc just before the hour mark, then with a header from a Beckham corner. Then with 18 minutes to go, Mikael Silvestra's pinpoint cross to Ruud van Nistelrooy as he headed home to equalise. And then with 14 minutes to go, one Sebastian Veron with a great strike from the edge of the 6-yard box, and probably the best of the lot with 4 minutes to go, David Beckham making it 5 to Manchester United and 3 to Spurs. Mickey Thomas, one of the most incredible games we've ever seen.
Yeah, you said where do you start? I think you start the second half. Forget about the first, because it was incredible, that second half. You're quite right. One of the best performances I've seen from a team for 45 minutes. They did everything. The passing, the movement, the goals were excellent. And you know, that's why they're champions. They never give in. Absolutely incredible. And Fraser, it's been a pleasure doing this game.
Mickey, we've been absolutely exhausted, it has to be said. I hope you at home and around the world on the internet have enjoyed it half as much as we have. It's finished at White Hart Lane. Spurs 3, Manchester United 5.